average, one woman's killed every 9 days by a former or current partner. Unions believe businesses should face a financial penalty if they fail to take on apprentices. Improving Australia's skills base was one of the issues discussed at the first day of the Economic Roundtable in Canberra. The federal government's promising to immediately adopt some proposals to help grow the economy. Business Council Chief Brad Black says employers must be incentivised to lift skill levels, not penalised.
We stressed the importance, instead of using the stick of a levy, of trying to incentivise employers with a carrot, because we've seen that employer incentives in the past have made a real difference in terms of the uptick of commencements and completions with respect to apprentices.
IINet is confident most of the data accessed by hackers in a data breach are of a non-identifying nature. The telco says early investigations suggest unauthorised access was gained using stolen employee credentials. Around 280,000 active email addresses were extracted from the system. Ukraine's ambassador to Australia is describing talks between his leader and the US president as very positive. Volodymyr Zelensky has sat down with Donald Trump and European officials at the White House. Mr. Trump now says he's taken the first steps towards organising a meeting between Mr. Zelensky and Russian President Vladimir Putin. Ambassador Vasyl Moroshnikov says significant progress has been made, but Moscow has to come to the table.
Russia started the war, they must end the war. And the Russians have to demonstrate that they really are interested in ending the war. And so far, they haven't really demonstrated that. Just as we speak, they keep on sending missiles and drones to different cities in Ukraine and continue killing Ukrainians.
While the federal opposition says there are unanswered questions over the government's decision to cancel a far-right Israeli politician's visa, the Home Affairs Minister says Simcha Rotman will not be allowed into Australia, saying visitors who seek to spread division won't be granted a visa. In response, Israel's expelled 3 Australian diplomats from the West Bank. Liberal leader Susan Lee says it's a sad state of affairs.
Israel is a liberal democracy in the Middle East, and we should be supporting them as that liberal democracy, and the steps that the Albanese government has taken over recent days and weeks certainly have not demonstrated that.
Now turning to FIVEAA Sport.
Kick goals with Floor World. With 4 locations around Adelaide, it's never been easier to score the best deal.
Ken Hinckley has given his last pre-match press conference as Port Adelaide coach ahead of Friday night's final game, reflecting on his 13 seasons at the club.
We've had a great journey together, and it's been full of ups and downs, but one I'm incredibly proud of, and one that'll look back on for a long time and be pretty excited about what was happening at Port Adelaide when we got here and when we left.
And he became emotional when talking about his family.
They've probably done it harder than me, I reckon, because they have to show the support, which is unconditional, which is not always the case in footy. I'm forever grateful.
And the waiting game continues for the Crows after a homophobic slur made by Isaac Ranken. The sanction, if he's found guilty, is expected to be announced this afternoon, with suggestions it could be 5 weeks. To cricket, and South Africa's 2 for 158 in the 29th over after being sent into bat first in the opening one-day international against Australia in Cairns. And opener Sam Constance has signed a 4-year contract extension with the Sydney Thunder for the Big Bash. A US Open champion and world number 1 Jannik Sinner's provided a scare before next week's tournament, retiring ill from the Cincinnati Open final against Carlos Alcaraz. Now checking FIVEAA traffic.
Sharman Shelving have moved their showroom next door into the Big White Building, still at 412 North East Road.
At Craigmore Carvey Building, Yorktown Road near Turner Drive. At Noarlunga, urgent sewer works getting cleaned up at the moment. Victor Harbour Road just off South Road there. Got line out of action, speeds reduced, but no great delays. Quite busy Tapley's, Heroic, Glenorg, North pretty slow. The Porter Expressway at Port Adelaide with the Camarabundies Road, North Adelaide, the Savo. Enjoy 4 years complimentary servicing across the Mercedes AMG SUV range. 4 days only, starting tomorrow. Visit Mercedes-Benz Adelaide and Unlead. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on FIVEAA.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Sunny and 17 today, sunny and 19 tomorrow, becoming cloudy on Thursday, 20, and partly cloudy for Friday, 18. At the moment, 16. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Kate Collins. Tonight, our domestic violence crisis laid bare. The Royal Commission findings aiming to end the scourge. How soon could Presidents Trump, Putin and Zelensky be in the same room? Ken Hinckley's emotional final pre-match press conference. And Woolworths cuts the prices on hundreds of everyday items. 9 News, your news, nightly at 6 on 9 and 9 now.
Setting the agenda for South Australia. This is FIVEAA, always Adelaide. The FIVEAA Sports Show. Rowey.
I am flabbergasted.
And Timmy G.
Absolute sports festival.
Yes, good afternoon. 8 minutes after 4 on this Tuesday, a day with consequence attached with the actions of the weekend. Ollie Wines awaiting his tribunal hearing tonight, and Isaac Ranken is still standing by for his expected AFL sanction. There's a lot to wade through today, and we'd love your calls. Rowey, Timmy G, good afternoon.
Sammy, thank you. We're hearing extenuating circumstances. We'll get to that, but you're right. We're 24 hours after the news of Isaac Ranken's homophobic slur. Shock has turned to disappointment. It's morphed into anger. Some, it's despair. Focus now turns to, can they win without him? How do you cover him? Can you cover him? Can they move on without him? He is a genuine match winner. We all know that. I'm choosing to look at the positives. Timmy, welcome.
Hello, Stephen. Thank you very much.
Well, that's very formal.
Yes, indeed.
Yes,
I thought
indeed. You're going to put that voice on that you did the other day.
Yes, only for live reads.
Hey, why has this taken so long in your eyes?
I wonder what they're grappling with. Your theory is that they're grappling with
4 or 5.
The amount of games.
I think it's that.
The thing for me is then if you're down to that decision making, that it's either 4 or 5, make a decision.
Yeah.
And
well, the AFL/VFL/AFL, they're not good at that.
They're not good at it. They're renowned for being slow on the take, but they also make, as we know, the other argument is the hypocrisy of booking Snoop Dogg now really coming to light.
Well, it is. And then there's the, there's sighters. Some have had 3, some have had 5, some have had 4, some have had 6. There's no framework. We will get to that. Whether it sits at 3, 4, 5 or 6, he will be suspended.
Yep.
It's just so disappointing for me as a Crows fan. My overarching emotion is we've scored an own goal. And in Hardwick's terms, we've kicked ourselves in the nuts, haven't we?
Yeah.
An injury is one thing. Getting into this time of year, and September, what does the coach say?
Yeah.
Get everything right. Put it beyond doubt. Don't.
You're right. Sometimes you need a bit of luck in the game and the like, and you need some luck with injuries and all that, but you can control this one.
You can control this one. Channel 7's Nick Rewalt reckons Crows, well, they can still win without Isaac.
The bigger question is, can they win it without him?
Can they?
Well, I think they can. I still think they can. I mean, we've seen clubs win premierships. I think back to West Coast when they won it without Nick Nat and without Gaff. So it can be done. But it just, you were cruising. You're absolutely cruising. He is. And the sort of play where you're desperate to watch in September.
Oh, God, his last quarters have been frightening. He always kicks that goal and stands up when you need him to. He won't be there. I remember back the 97 flag. We can't win without Mods and Roo. We did. We did it the next year. Channel 9, on the other hand, Maddie Lloyd question if the Crows can win without Isaac.
Does it make it difficult for Adelaide to win the grand final? Like, I've had them right up there for most of the year, but with no Ranken, I put them behind Geelong. I put them behind Brisbane. That's how significant. Because Rochelle hasn't played for 6 weeks.
Well, Rochelle will come back. Michael Annie will come back. I'd keep Bond as that lockdown. Michael Annie goes into the midfield and Rochelle forward. So we'll wait and see. But there's water to pass under the bridge. Then you turn your attention to the sanction. And it still hasn't landed. Gold Coast Suns coach Damien Hardwick, he nailed it with this. Have a listen.
It's a significant penalty, I feel. Like, we can have a player that belts a guy in the jaw and we'll get, maybe 5 weeks sort of thing. And I don't condone the behaviour. It's a term that should never be used on the football field, we understand. But I think we painted ourselves in a corner with regard to the penalty and the length of penalty to start.
They have. I blame the AFL wholeheartedly. The AFLPA for years have been canvassing for a guideline or a framework for penalties as they call misdemeanors, these ones. Haven't they? Have they not? We've had Marshy sit in that chair between you and I for years, so the AFL's got to get this right.
Well, they've got to have a framework around it because
do.
there is none. It seems like when the decision's made, it'll be whatever's happening at that moment, whatever the atmosphere is at that moment will
exactly
depend on the out because there's nothing to refer to.
No.
In a court of law, there's laws. So you go by the law and all the rest of it, and then a judge will make a penalty upon what's been broken and the like. Here, there is no framework to go back to go, let's have a look. Okay, this is what the framework is. You get this, and then you get that.
Yeah. And if you have an early guilty plea or your self-report, we'll take 10% off.
You do it again. You do it again.
Yeah.
This is what's really going to happen. I think Eddie Maguire had a theory on that as well.
He did.
Do we get to a stage, which is going to be a controversial call, going forward, and from this day forward, if you are found guilty of a homophobic slur, you get 2 weeks. And if you get guilty a second time, you get 12 weeks.
Well, let the dust settle on that, and it has settled. Are you angry? Are you disappointed? Are you shattered? Where will it land? Is it 4? Is it 5 weeks? What's appropriate? Can they win without Isaac? If Isaac misses the grand final, how can Snoop Dogg perform at the grand final? 8223 We are your vehicle. Be your voice. Get to it. We've got a $50 Powers voucher. And the text line's going, the bunter and our phones are. We'll try to get as many callers. We're going to free the show up, if you like. Let's free the show up. Let's get you on air. This is a week of lasts for Ken Hinckley. It's his last week. It's his last game, his last presser as coach. And Ken got a little bit emotional about his family.
They've probably done it harder than me, I reckon, because they have to show the support, which is unconditional, which is not always the case in footy. Forever grateful. You look at your results as a coach and you ultimately your result is to get to a grand final and win a grand final. As harsh as that is, we didn't get there. So great, the winning record's great and everything else, but I wanted to win and the club wanted to win and we all didn't quite get there. I'll do something some stage, but as I said regularly, I'm not in a hurry to make that decision. I'll take the time to think about all those things, but if something comes up that feels really right, whether it's in football, not in football, I'm not quite sure, and I'm not even prepared to what it might be, because I've said all along I want to do my job here first. As of Saturday morning, I can move on with thinking about the next phase.
Yeah, he won't be lost to footy. There'll be a job there for him. I remember back when Ken arrived at Port, a job that most people didn't want. Ken said this.
And people have said the last man standing. I've heard those comments. Maybe I was the right man standing.
And I remember that. They were great comments, the right man standing. And then today he said this in his last presser.
I'm the right man leaving too now.
He's the right man leaving. I reckon he has been superb to me over the years. I've loved him. I think he's done a remarkable job. Now, Port people that are in the know would have a different opinion. I think considering all things, 60% win-loss, 4 prelims, lost 2 by less than a kick, 7 times in the finals, 13 years. He must be a very, very, very good coach.
Yeah, I think
he's a very good coach.
I like the bookends with the right man standing and the right man leaving.
I
like
had
the
to play
bookends
that. That was funny.
I think the other thing that comes out in
I
that
wish him well.
is the toll that coaching takes on your family.
Oh my God!
And you can ask any, especially the younger coaches have kids at school. And I reckon that's a real challenge for a lot of them, where somebody's on the front page of the paper and his job's at risk or something like that, and then they got to explain the kids are coming out of school and go, how come your dad's on the paper, or all this sort of thing. So you can understand the pressure that comes upon the family. So they ride the highs and the lows as well.
They do. And the big one tonight is Ollie Wines. The tribunal's 5:45 p.m. He's challenging a 3-week suspension for that. And we'd all want Ollie to be there for Boakey, because we're going to turn our attention from tomorrow towards Boakey's last game. An absolute legend at the club. We've loved him, universally admired. And Ken had this to say.
I'm a bit pissy with the AFL on that one, to be honest. I'd like Ollie to be there on Friday night. Tuesday night's not over yet, is it? Maybe we can get him there.
Yeah, let's go to our calls.
Absolutely.
8223 full board. We'll try and read as many as we can out for your text lines. Please keep them coming in. We are your vehicle, your voice, vet your spleen.
Absolutely right. It's 17 minutes after 4. We've got Campo in Coach's Corner tonight. We'll speak to Ned McHenry in the studio, and we'll catch up with Graham Yallop as well after the sad passing on the weekend of Bob Simpson. And, of course, FIVEAA locker room tickets to Friday night. It is a huge occasion, Port fans, so good luck. Your chance to win those tickets a little bit later on tonight. But your call's next, 8223 0000.
Rowey and Timmy G on the FIVEAA Sports Show.
He's one of the most decorated AFL players in recent history.
Bartel.
Catch Cats Premiership legend Jimmy Bartel talking footy each week with Rowey and Timmy G. Thanks to Statesman Windows, Adelaide's most trusted boutique window company. SA family owned and operated since 1980.
City Discount Tires.
Get saving this month at City Discount Tyres. Grab 3 Falcon Zig ZE 310R passenger car tyres and get the 4th tyre absolutely free. Experience top-notch performance with exceptional grip on both wet and dry surfaces. Steer your way to citydiscounttyres.com.au for even more great deals. City Discount Tyres. We're driven by value.
City Discount Tires.
Our place is your place at the Albion Hotel. Your place to raise a glass to a big sporting win, a milestone birthday, or just making it through the week. Cheers. Your place to bring the entire family, including the kids and grandkids, for an amazing meal together. Your place to sit back and just soak it all in. The Albion Hotel. Your local, your people, your place.
The National Bowel Cancer Screening Program's Get Behind It Community Roadshow. It'll be in the Rundle Mall tomorrow from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m.
How's this? AFL legend, our cobber, Andrew Newton-Jarman is getting behind the program, and you can meet him tomorrow. Head to Rundle Mall to grab a photo, have a chat, and learn about the free life-saving test for Australia's age 45 to 74. It is that easy.
Yeah, look, it's quick, it's easy, it's done at home, it's not intrusive. I'm telling you, just get it done.
Saves lives, Timmy.
Does.
I wish it was around when my Jodie's dad, 45, died of bowel cancer.
There you go, right in that.
6 weeks
demo.
from diagnosis to...
But if you catch it early, this is what this is about.
That's exactly right. So while you're there, chat to the team, order a new or a first kit for free. Take it home, life-saving information. There'll be giveaways too. I'm 60. I've done about 4 of them. They are so easy.
Yes, they are. And I think I've done at least... Nah, you would have done more than that. You've done 5 at least.
Well, I get mine every 2 years.
2 years, since you're 50.
Okay.
You've done 5, mate. Bowel cancer is one of Australia's most common cancers, but early detection can save lives, as we mentioned earlier.
1, 2, did that one? Yeah, nah, it doesn't matter. So if you're age 45 to 74, please do this. Drop into Rundle Mall tomorrow, go and see Andrew Newton and order your free kit. It could save your life.
At Blackwell Funerals, we care about what matters most. When it comes to saying goodbye, we're here with compassion, dignity and support. Visit blackwellfunerals.com.au to learn more.
We love to see you, CMI. CMI Toyota is SA's #1 selling Toyota dealer and the best place to get your car serviced, offering while you wait express service and the convenience of a one-stop tyre shop. You can trust our team of expert technicians to take care of all your vehicle needs. Book online or visit your local CMI Toyota service centre today. We'd love to see you.
We love to see you, CMI.
Oh, what a feeling, Toyota.
Kids don't want to wait. The sooner, the better. Every moment is a chance to learn and grow. And they're right, it is. The first few years of a child's development play a hugely important part in their future, in learning and in life. That's why the state government is rolling out 3-year-old preschool from 2026. Because the sooner they start, the further they can go. Learn more at flyingstart.sa.gov.au. A message from the Government of South Australia.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
At 21 minutes after 4 on this Tuesday, the news around Isaac Ranken's investigation, it's going to go into another day. So they're saying in Melbourne, all parties have been spoken to. There won't be any sanction handed down tonight. We'll have to wait till tomorrow. 8223 0000 is the number. Call in, have your say around it. All thanks to Rossdale Homes. We're going to check your traffic. SA's most trusted Rossdale, custom design, fixed pricing and a total peace of mind, because trust is a must.
Afternoon at Edinburgh North, a crash, Peachy Road near Hewitton Road, Craigmore, Carvey Building, Yorktown Road near Turner Drive, and Old Noarlunga, urgent sewer works getting cleaned up. Victor Harbour Road just off South Road. Speeds are reduced through there. Busy right now, South Road at Glandore with a camera, Bartley Terrace at Westlake Shore. Enjoy 4 years complimentary servicing across the Mercedes AMG SUV range. August the 20th until the 23rd only. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
With their signing insinuating extenuating circumstances, what would that look like? Because he's already apologised to the player. I would have just denied I said it. Someone's got to dob you in. Would a Collingwood player dob you in now?
Look, I
don't reckon a player would dob any other player in.
I think your strategy high risk.
Yeah. Is it?
Because I think if you then get caught, your penalty's going to be far greater. Now, talking about penalties, have I ever mentioned any number of games?
No, you've been
not
good.
once. I have. You've said that they've
4 to 5.
You've said
I think they're arguing over that.
Yeah, that's what you said. So this person who's texted in with no name, Tim wouldn't be saying 4 or 5 if it was Butters and Port was sitting minor premiers. He's hoping for 4 or 5. At least try and be impartial for once. Haven't said it once.
No, you're very fair like that. On the other hand, you could say that about me.
I can carry the impartial banner.
God, I'd hope Butters got 10. Hello, Justin.
I love your honesty.
Yeah. G'day, Rowey and Tim. G'day, boys.
G'day, buddy.
So I first heard about the Isaac Ranken thing via text on Saturday night, straight after the game, through a mate who's connected with the Collingwood Football Club. I'm not going to name names because out of respect, but I do have a few things that I want to say. The Collingwood player that was that Isaac Ranken said the word to did not want it reported. He was totally fine with it. He didn't want it reported. But my understanding is that another player heard it. It was mentioned to the footy boss at Collingwood. The Collingwood boss, obviously, once heard it protocol, he had to report it and tell the Crows about it. Obviously, they went to the AFL, and here we are.
It's exactly how it happened. That's how it was told to me, Justin, that I said yesterday.
Yeah, I think you mentioned something similar, right? Yep. So the point that I want to make is that I know that we live in a world now where, workplace, you can't say these things, but, these blokes, their adrenaline's pumping. It's a high-octane game. Their heart rate's getting up to 200 plus. I'm sure, yes, the word was said, but this has got to be put into perspective. These things are blown totally out of proportion through the history of it all. Greg Swan was brought in for a reason, I understand, to try and bring some sort of, voice of reason and common sense to this overblown penalties. Now, I think it should be a game and a fine, and that's it, and we move on. But, the guy hasn't killed anyone. I'm a Crows supporter. I'm so angry and frustrated with what hopefully won't transpire, but I think it will. And it's just too overblown, guys.
Well, it's not overblown. The penalty's overblown. I think Damien Hardwick nailed it. What I think Swanee needs to do, there's a moratorium period from now to the end of the year, and then we're going to tidy this up over the offside period where it is first offence 2 weeks, second offence 6, whatever. 4 or 5 weeks for this through a finals period is too stiff. And the AFL have been warned and told by the AFLPA. He's going to cop 4 or 5. Just there's nothing we can do about it. But Swanee can fix it. It ain't going to help the Crows, and it certainly ain't going to help Isaac Ranken. Hello, Andy.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Hey, Andrew.
I've just been wondering why Ranken did what he did, knowing the consequences. And then I'm also thinking about, well, how come this is taking so long? And I'm thinking about these extenuating circumstances. And I'm wondering if Ranken was responding to being vilified.
Oh, they're all if buts and candy nuts, Andrew. Look, who knows what happened on the footy field? There was a day, the 60s, 70s, 80s, maybe the early 90s, where what was on the field stayed on the field. There's no longer there. It's a workplace. They share $15.6 million. And they're sensitive souls. They are. Let's face it.
Well, you heard Justin say
they're not old school like us.
The football managers of the footy clubs and the rest of it, they have a duty.
That's exactly
that they've
right.
got to report it.
Yeah.
You heard him say it. That's actually true. If they hears that and they don't report, they can be pulled in front of the AFL
exactly
integrity.
Right. Yep.
So that's why they.
This is the process. This is the protocols. They've all got to abide by it. Andy, I don't want to speculate about that, whether he was or he wasn't. If anybody should know, it should be an Indigenous lad because they grew up being vilified.
Yeah.
And then to do a homophobic slur. 1 and 1 doesn't equal 2.
But also, that's why the AFL investigate and speak to all parties, and that's why it's still going.
That's probably right. Well, it'll be tomorrow. Insinuating circumstances. Wow. Hello, Rick.
Yeah, Rowey,
I was going to say this earlier, but you beat me to it. You're 100% right. In 97, 98, where was Modra?
Yeah, all Roo.
And we did it easy.
Yes, we did.
I mean, they're two big names.
Big names.
Now here's another thing. Like, you know, these are men, and Ranken, we love him, of course. He should have known better, but he's obviously retaliating. Someone's called him something, but we've won the game. If I won the game, I just point to the scoreboard.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. But this chap you're saying who's going to fix it all? What you say? He's head of the AFL.
Swanee. He's the footy manager now.
As we all know, he's called him one of the great, what do you say, stinky acts of all time. And now we tell him, listen, mate, this guy's not kosher. He's not the man. Oh, he can't see it. See, the last guy you get is Snoop Dogg. And what Ranken should have said was, whatever he said, I was just reciting a Snoop Dogg song. And he would have got off.
Well, I reckon the best defence was deny it. If I was the footy manager and he came up to me,
not a good take.
I'd have said, no, Isaac, you didn't say that. You said flog.
Again,
Isaac, say it again. No, you didn't say that. You said flog.
You've already heard.
Deny, mate.
Good luck. G'day, Brett.
Well, hang on, Snoop Dogg. Well, have you been getting all those texts from everyone about Snoop Dogg's Instagram post where he ended up with that word and in his songs and his lyrics? Somebody sent me his lyrics of a rap song.
All of his songs are filled with all sorts of terrible language.
But that's okay. He's going to perform for $2 million grand final day and a bloke by the name of Isaac Ranken.
But encouraging people to deny.
It's not a good
tactic. Let's go to Brett. G'day, mate.
Yeah, g'day, boys. Look, I think what we got to do is we just got to move forward because he's not going to play.
No, he's out.
And you know, like, what an exciting time that we've got to think about. It's going to give someone else an opportunity, and how great is that? Yeah. And I think one other thing you're missing out on, Rowey, is that in 97 we didn't have Peter Vardy either.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, Matthew Liptak. And how many goals did he kick in that final against Sydney that won us the game? 7. I mean, you know, we had 3 good players that didn't play in that grand final, and Rennie was on one leg pretty much. You know, he ripped his brace off. So look, I think exciting time. Just embrace it. Get someone in, and Crows all the way.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. You don't want an own goal, but there were reasons for that. Roo had a groin. Modge did his knee. Yeah. This is an own goal.
Yeah,
we've kicked ourselves fair in the nuts with this one.
Yeah.
And we need everything going right, really, don't they? The Crows need everyone on the deck, everything going right. They don't hand them to you.
No, but you can get some confidence and momentum. You've got that. I mean, what have you won? 10 in a row?
Would have rathered it with Isaac.
8 in a row?
Have you seen Isaac's last quarters?
11 out of 12.
Month?
So it's quite significant. Here's another perspective. Rowey, you're someone who wears their heart on their sleeves, and people love you for that, and it makes good radio. You're focusing on Ranken and the Crows. Have you thought about the 14-year-old boy who's struggling with his sexuality, who hears this? Has there ever been an AFL player come out as gay? No. Why is that? Young men still take their own lives over this, and I'm sure your understanding of the impact that words can have.
I'm not condoning it.
No, did they
He's
say
making
condoning?
me sound like I'm condoning his actions.
No.
We've all called it out. What's that great Ross Lyon quote? I don't condone the actions, but I support the player.
Yeah.
I'm doing that. I'm supporting the person. This bloke could miss a grand final. Not condoning the actions. And I hate how people send texts like, oh, Rowey, you're treading a fine line. Gets.
Yeah, they didn't say condoning.
All right.
There's
Well,
no
I hope they
condoning in
didn't,
that.
because
No.
I'll jump down the microphone.
No condoning in that. And thank you, Jason, for sending that in.
Keep your calls coming after the 4:30 headlines. 8223 0000 if you want to get involved.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Good afternoon, I'm Kendall Brettig. A young woman from Murray Bridge has died after a car plunged into a channel of water at Mobilong. The Premier's promising reform after the findings of the Royal Commission into Domestic, Family and Sexual Violence were handed down. iiNet is reporting unauthorised access to its order management system by an unknown third party. And it looks like it'll be another day before the Crows' Isaac Ranken learns his fate for a homophobic slur. Now I'm checking 5AA traffic.
Charman Shelving have moved their showroom next door into the Big White Building, still at 412 North East Road.
Afternoon at Edinburgh North, a crash, Peachy Road near Hewitson Road, Craigmore, Carvey Building, Yorktown Road near Turner Drive, and slow for works at Hilliard here today. Anglevale Road near Steppen Heath Road, speeds at 43 there. Getting busy South Road, Edwardstown, and a camera Hallett Road at Stonyfell. Here's another ding-dong deal from Uber Eats. $10 deals on select Pet Barn treats, including toys. Head to Ding Dong Deals on the Uber Eats app. Ends August 24. Fees, T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Clear tonight, sunny tomorrow with a high of 19, at the moment 16. More news at 5 o'clock on 5AA, always Adelaide.
The government has agreed to broaden the eligibility for some of the business assistance on offer.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
Premier Peter Malinauskas.
What we're seeking to do is making sure that we're moving as the algal bloom evolves.
Adelaide's leading breakfast show.
We obviously haven't got a playbook here. This has never happened before.
5AA Breakfast.
So we're just trying to broaden it and simplify it as the crisis continues.
Weekdays from 6 a.m. on 5AA, always Adelaide.
Things are heating up at Adelaide's largest selection of fireplaces, the Home of Fire. Get up to 50% off wood, gas and electric heating, and check out their outdoor kitchens.
Home of Fire for all your flaming needs.
The Home of Fire, 126 McGill Road, Norwood.
The SUV you haven't met yet. A Motor JQ has arrived, and Morford Vale is the only place you'll find them. Premium looks, smart tech, designed for beach getaways, back road breaks, and school runs with flair. Plus an 8-year warranty and Australia's first future price promise. You won't just love the ride, you'll love the peace of mind. Only available at a Motor JQ Morford Vale. Built for this wild life. Wildly cool. Main South Road. T's and C's apply.
Your daily cup of OTR just got a whole lot richer. Buy NEC coffee for a chance to win $1,000 daily when you scan the OTR app. And September 2, T's and C's apply. SAP 25/835. OTR. Serving up seriously good coffee.
The passing of someone close places unique stress on family and friends. At this time, Farrell and O'Neill Funerals are here to provide reassurance and peace of mind. Farrell and O'Neill offer creative guidance and advice to tailor a service that best honours your loved one. Whether a large gathering or a small, intimate service, Farrell and O'Neill share their generations of experience in tailoring a unique and meaningful farewell. Proudly SA family-owned and operated, because it's personal.
It's Tyre Power's Power Up Sale, which means you can take your tyre safety and your savings to the next level with a new set of Kumho tyres from Tyre Power. Right now, you can buy 3 and get 1 free on a great range of Kumho SUV and passenger car tyres. Power up to buy 3 and get 1 free on selected Kumho tyres. It's another powerful reason to choose Tyre Power. Visit tyrepower.com.au or call 13 21 91 for your local independent owner.
What makes Ray White the big name in business broking? They're people, like multi-time SA Business Broker of the Year, Brett Buckley, and his team of business professionals. They take a deep dive into your business, finding value and potential, and they know what they're looking for because they know businesses. They're not real estate salespeople trying to sell businesses, they're business people selling businesses. If you want to know what your business is worth, touch base with Brett. Search Ray White Business Sales SA. Multiple Business Broker of the Year awards.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
It's a significant penalty, I feel. Like we can have a player that belts a guy in the jaw and we'll get, maybe 5 weeks sort of thing. And I don't condone the behaviour. It's a term that should never be used on the football field, we understand. But I think we painted ourselves in a corner with regard to the penalty and the length of penalty to start.
So that's the views of Damien Hardwick around Isaac Ranken and the situation which is still unfolding. The investigation will draw into tomorrow before we get a sanction. Taylor Walker spoke on Triple M Breakfast this morning.
I spoke to him last night on the phone and he's very remorseful and he understands that he's made a mistake and he'll accept whatever comes his way.
Yeah, the dust has settled. Are you angry, disappointed, or shattered? Crows supporters, where will it land? 4 or 5? It's not going to land till tomorrow. And I think that's what the debate's about. Crows are obviously trying to get it to 3 to 4. The AFL saying, well,
So they have an engagement on this?
Of course they do. This is a negotiated outcome. The AFL always has a negotiated outcome.
So that itself says there is no framework
That's
around.
That's exactly right. Well, we know there's not. We know all of that. Can they win without Isaac, have you say? And how can Isaac miss a grand final but Snoop Dogg be on the stage who sings songs that just Google the words inappropriately and gets $2 million, but yet he is culturally what, Sam?
Relevant to the AFL, according to the CEO.
Relevant. Oh, the gift that keeps giving, you big Snoop Dogg. Hello, Dan.
How are you?
Hey, Daniel.
The whole thing's a bit of a joke. I don't get this. You can sexually assault a player on the field, which happened the other week. He got no sanction.
Oh, just be careful with that.
Yeah,
I think they investigated it and they
Yeah.
interviewed and...
To clear that up,
Yeah.
they said that wasn't the case.
Yeah, they did.
For this guy to miss a grand final for one word, and he was antagonised the whole game, he obviously just reacted. It should have been left on the field and it should have been the end of it.
Yeah, those days are gone, sadly, Dan.
I was going to say, Daniel, on the other 5 cases as well.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to Luke.
Well, there's a
Craigmore.
cider, isn't there? If it was the first...
5.
Yeah, there's 5. There's a cider. Sadly, there's a cider. Hello, Luke.
G'day, boys. Rowey, just a quick one answer to the question. How many, if you're in control of the AFL, how many...
Say that again, Luke. You dropped out. Oh, let's get Luke back.
We'll go back to Luke.
Luke, we'll get you back. You dropped out, mate. You must have gone under a tunnel. Hello, Pete.
Yeah, g'day, gentlemen. I just want to change tack a bit, and this is directed to you, Timmy. If poor Magpies win this weekend, what involvement will Ken have with Port next week, and will Ivan Soldo do a Stephen Salapack and not make himself available for the SANFL finals?
Pete, I think Ivan would want to play, should he be fit and available, so I think that'll be okay. But I'm not sure that the senior coach of the AFL has any involvement with the SANFL team, other than they might go and view the game, but they don't have any game day involvement. So they haven't had it all year, so they don't then impose themselves on the day. So you just keep the same routine and the same people going. So that's probably where that one lands, Pete.
Thank you, Pete. Let's go back to Luke at Craigmore.
Hello, sorry about that, lads. I'm just going through a rough area. Dave, one answer with this question: how many weeks would you give Isaac Ranken for what he's done? How many weeks?
Well, Luke,
it's a simple question, mate.
Well, he's got to get between 4 or 5 because that's the cider.
What would you give him?
Well, I would do. Well, you let me answer it then, Luke. I'm like Eddie. Racial vilification and homophobic slurs should be classed as the same. One's not weighted above the other. How a bloke can get 6 for a racial vilification, for calling someone black or whatever, as opposed to someone who's a homophobic slur, they should be the same weight. Would you agree with that? And I think the first offence should be 2 weeks. And then Ed said, and I agree with this, second offence 10 to 12 weeks. To get 4 or 5 weeks for this straight off the bat is too severe.
I disagree. Mate, if someone racially vilified Ranken in the crowd, it's almost a life ban, right? If another player done it on the field, as you said, it is 4 or 5 weeks. It's simple as that.
That's what I said.
They are exactly the same. Yeah, I agree.
Well, they're not. Well, how did
unfortunately-
Walker get 6 and some other rooster Finlayson get 3?
Because, well...
Answer that one, Luke. I want to. But Luke, that's what we're all saying. We want a framework. Yeah. We want to know what we're dealing with.
I agree we need the framework, but there's a lot of people saying, "Oh, he should get off. He should get off, or not get off."
Well, I'm not saying
1 or 2
that.
weeks or whatever.
I'm not saying that.
There's a lot of people that are saying it and thinking it. It's an on-the-field moment. It's just something happens on the footy field, stays on the footy field. I don't subscribe to that. If you say homophobic stuff, or racist, if you're racial in any way on a footy field, minimum 5 weeks. That's a framework that needs to be done, and we need to stamp it out of the game.
Well, we're slow learners because we're still doing it. How many this year? 4?
Well,
3 last year.
This will be the 6th.
Is this the 6th, is it? Thanks, Luke. Strong opinion, mate. I think we agree. You just want to have a crack.
That's all right.
Hello, Helen.
Hello. Look, I'm just coming at it from a different angle. I just found it a bit farcical last night that Collingwood's Maynard, was on the TV on Collingwood's behalf saying how this needs to be rubbed out of the game, calling people names and whatever, when 2 years ago he wiped Angus Brayshaw out of one of the finals, one of the preliminary finals, put him out of, and Angus Brayshaw never played another game of football. He got nothing, and he played in the grand final and walked away with a medal. I think sticks and stones will break your bones, but compared to calling someone a name, I can't quite work out why Maynard got nothing, and all this. And I'm not making excuses for the vilification or calling people names, but for Maynard to stand up there holier than thou and say this needs to be scrubbed out the game when he wiped out Angus Brayshaw's career.
Well, Helen, he did get referred straight to the tribunal. It was a test case. The tribunal found him not guilty and he was able to play. So if there's any angst with that, it should be levelled at the AFL, not Maynard. And they're two totally different things, aren't they?
I think where Helen's come from is perhaps the media department of Collingwood could have put a different player up. Is that fair? Yeah.
And that's a fair call. That's a fair call.
And you don't then draw any comparisons.
Yeah, no, well said.
Let's
Wish
go to
I'd
Michael.
have said that.
Hi,
Gee,
Michael.
Helen, sorry. Michael?
Oh, how are you, guys? I just wanted to question, are the Crows in the grand final or something? Because I just keep hearing people say that he's going to miss out on the grand final.
That's a good point, Michael.
Hey, Michael.
Have I missed something?
Michael, I put the lid back on. Did I not say I want a production piece to put the bloody lid back on?
Well, I just don't get it. I missed the last 4 or 5 weeks or something?
Yeah. No, but what I guess the bow we're drawing, Michael, and it's a great pickup.
Opportunity of getting there.
That's exactly
gets
right.
diminished without
That's
Isaac.
exactly right. And if he gets 5, he doesn't play the grand final. If he gets 4, they lose the first final. There's a chance he could play, inverted commas, hypothetically, all that sort of stuff.
But you're right, it's a long way to go.
It is a long way to go.
Yeah, and everyone's remorseful after it. You know, Tex says remorseful. Everyone's remorseful.
Of course we are.
It's just that's life. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Simple thing. Don't do it.
Yep.
It's as simple as that.
No, great
You know
call.
what I mean? So
2 very, very, very good points that we can't debate with. Did I not walk into work today and say, can we get a production piece? The bloody lid's back on.
You did want the lid back on. So you officially want the lid back on in Adelaide.
I do. Well, Ranken.
It was all fun.
I said this on air, did I not? The 5 players you wouldn't want to lose in this order if you want to go all the way to winning a grand final are what you would call the match winners. And I went Dawson 1 because he's the skipper.
Yep.
He's won games off his own beat.
Great.
Ranken 2. I had Phil Thorpe 3. I had Riley O'Brien 4. And I said Rochelle 5 because when he comes back, he plays that role on the half-forward line, works brilliantly with Alex Neil, Bullen and Keys, and then it releases Ranken back to the role he played at the start of the year. They're my 5. Well, we've just lost one. With an own goal, which we will call Damien Hardwick style, kicking ourselves in the...
Yes, all right, let's go to Gawler. Lindy.
Lindy?
And happy birthday for last week, I think it was, Lindy.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, thanks, Timmy G. You're the only Port Power supporter that I talk to.
Oh, well,
wow.
Thank you very much.
Wow.
And how are you, Rowey?
Oh, a bit flat, Lindy, to be quite frank.
Yes, I was. Listen, I don't care what I say because what I say is what goes, and everybody knows I'm a very high opinionated person. I've been in tears all day. It's heartbreaking. Look, this is Australia. We are. What the hell is going on? Our soldiers fought for this country. This has gone beyond the joke. He said it in a conversation with other players around. Why was he just picked out? Why was the Collingwood official doing in there in the first place? And also, giving him 5, 6, 7 games, I don't know how many games, is ridiculous. I don't agree with any of the players that got suspended for this. If you're going to be different, that's fine. But you learn some consequences yourself for being different.
Oh,
yeah,
no, I'll
bit
dump
harsh.
that.
I
can't with it. We can't go with that. Sorry, Lindy.
And I'm not laughing. I am laughing, but yeah, I think that last little bit, Lindy, you did cross the line, and I think you're from the same era as me because we're the same age. We're both 1965 babies. We need to get in the picture. We need to learn. We need to educate. We need to be better. This wokeness, and then this being cancelled, and then this having an opinion like that. It went out with button-up boots, Lindy, and maybe you and I need a beer.
14 minutes to 5. Let's keep your calls rolling after this current break coming up. We've got Campo and Coach's Corner 2 after 5 o'clock, but here's your roads.
Afternoon at Edinburgh North, a crash, Peachy Road near Hewitton Road, Craigmore, Carvey Building, Yorktown Road near Turner Drive. Slow for works at Mawson Lakes at the moment, Salisbury Highway to Eldersmith Road, and getting busy Tapley to Road at Glenelg North as you're approaching Anzac Highway. Cameras today, Bundy's Road North Adelaide and Cudmore Terrace at Henley Beach. Flight Centre's top 50 trips are here. Score up to $4,700 bonus value on cruises, tours and holidays. Hurry, sail in September 7. Book now at Flight Centre. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
If you want to know what's going on at the Adelaide Football Club,
Listen in to the 5AA Sports Show.
each week Rowey and Timmy G chat with the players and coaches in the know.
Thanks to Sterling Homes.
Whether your block's the size of the Adelaide Oval or the goal square, customise your build with Sterling Homes.
Today I'm talking to Tracy, who's one of Arbor Vitae's many happy customers. Hi.
Hello, Lee.
When did you start taking Arbor Vitae and what for?
I'm a cake maker by trade and suffered with sore hands for years, which is a common issue for my fellow bakers. A friend suggested I tried Arbor Vitae, and I can't believe how well it's worked for me.
What benefits have you noticed from Arbor Vitae?
It's like a magic potion. I'm able to work with no pain. No stretch of the truth. It's worked so well for me.
Are you happy to recommend Arbor Vitae? And what would you tell our listeners about this product?
Absolutely. And I'd say to them that I felt my pain reside after the second bottle. So if you do try it and don't feel any changes from the first bottle, stick with it. It's also got a great berry-like flavour, which makes it easy to consume.
It's wonderful to hear how much of a positive impact it has had on your life. Thank you for your time, Tracy. Remember, for more information, visit arborvitae.com.au, arborvitae.com.au, stocked in chemists and health food stores. And remember, always read the label and follow the directions for use.
Rosanna Mangiarelli here on 7 News. Shock new details about Isaac Ranken's homophobic slur, and Adelaide influencers' near-fatal wardrobe malfunction, and side hustle success stories, how Aussies are making big bucks.
Here at 5AA, we're all about supporting local. From the boardroom to the ballroom, from the hills to the beach, Your Say Group Catering will cater for any event. yoursaygroup.com.au.
The most exhilarating motorsport weekend of the year is here. Brand new endurance epic, the AirTouch 500, September 12 to 14. 500 kilometres of full throttle supercars action, alongside the international stars of the FIA TCR World Tour and Australia's biggest support program. Plus there's trackside camping, live music, food trucks and entertainment for the whole family. And kids 15 and under, they're in free. The AirTouch 500 at the Bend. Tickets at thebend.com.au.
Right now at Formula Honda, drive away in the CR-V Hybrid 24 build from $56,900 or the Honda ZR-V Hybrid 24 build from $51,900. That's a price reduction of $3,000. Plus, get 8 years unlimited kilometre warranty and roadside assist across the entire SUV range. But you'd better hurry. These offers are only available until September 30. T's and C's apply. Test drive at Formula Honda today. Glen Osmond Road, Glen Osmond, or North East Road, Modbury.
Things are heating up at Adelaide's largest selection of fireplaces, the Home of Fire. Get up to 50% off wood, gas and electric heating, and check out their outdoor kitchens.
Home of Fire for all your flaming needs.
The Home of Fire, 126 McGill Road, Norwood.
Launch into study at Adelaide University and be part of a supportive learning community. Learn from world-class academics and graduate with the skills and experience to step confidently into your career. Search Adelaide University now.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
He, in time, will never live with himself either. The thought that will sink in over the next week or two saying, imagine they go on and play in a premiership and I'm not there. Jimmy, they're that hard to get to. And they're all the things that it's terrible that are going to be running through his mind and the club's.
Matthew Lloyd at 9 minutes to 5. Campo's going to join us after 5 o'clock, and 5AA locker room tickets to be won to the farewell game for Travis Boak on Friday night. Port fans, you'll want to win those tickets a little later on tonight.
A couple of texts. Clarko, the serial pest, got no games. Another one here. I still don't understand how you can threaten harm, get a week, but this is 4 to 5. It doesn't make sense. Not saying either are right.
Yeah, they're well said. And we were scratching our heads on that. And the AFL just agreed with Port's sanction on that, didn't they?
That's right.
They actually didn't give a sanction.
They didn't make a call
to threaten someone's life. Hello, Billy boy.
How you doing?
Yeah, good, Bill.
So last point first, maybe they can step up and get some, a new guy, Billy Dowling, in for the finals if they have to.
Well, we're getting a lot of text. We're getting a lot of text through that Murphy's in.
Yeah, I've got a couple of points about the penalty. To me, a long-term ban has more of an effect on the team, the club, the supporters and the state than it does on the individual. Not so much this time of year, but mid-year you could have 3, 4, 5 weeks off and doesn't affect your team's outcome. So it's kind of get out of jail free. I reckon they should just impose 2 weeks and a $100,000 fine if they want to send the message home to the individual. For myself, I've booked flights and accommodation 6 weeks ago for the grand final, expecting that my team will have a reasonable chance of putting up its best team.
Yep.
Well, it doesn't just affect the player, it affects everybody.
It does.
But I've got another philosophical point, which is this, that the whole point of the philosophy is to tell people that, you can't make slurs against homosexuals or gay people. But what this says, with the severity of the penalty, is that what's more serious than a punctured lung or causing concussion or whatever, it's to call someone on the spur of the moment that they might be homosexual. Well, that just makes it sound as if being homosexual is a really, really bad thing to do, worse than concussion, worse than a punctured lung, all of that stuff. So
or a king at the jaw. Yeah, Bill, we know where you're coming from. That's why, and Timmy said it 100 times, we've had Paul Marsh, the AFLPA, sit here for years, for at least 2 years, and say we need a framework for these affairs that you can put in a little box and it's the same for everyone. And we don't have that.
Well, you know what it is. And that second offence, if you reoccur, then that's quite severe. So, seems simple, doesn't it?
Yep.
Well, we'll see how we go.
The AFL likes hard.
Let's go to Kim.
G'day, Timmy. Hi, Stephen.
Kim.
I just want to talk about something else. I want to talk about Nick Dacos and staging for the free kick.
Yeah.
I thought back to the Clayton Oliver some years ago that the AFL were going to crack down on that.
Yeah,
but,
well, they haven't.
If they were to do that, they should be playing soccer, not the AFL Australian rules. I think if it wasn't probably the player that's favoured for the Brownlows, this is the sort of player you want to win a Brownlow medal. If tries to get a free kick like that, it wasn't a jumper punchy. I think the AFL are happy to overlook something, and then they want to come down hard with a sledgehammer on it.
Sorry, Kim, your phone just dropped out. Thank you for your contribution. Lines available. We want to take as many calls as we can.
They're starting to find a lot of staging, aren't they?
Yeah,
so
Ranken copped one on the weekend.
Yeah, Ranken copped one on the weekend, which
he did.
I think the more they try and rub that out, the better.
They do. It's not good for the game.
Good.
I do like this one. Hey, boys, why not grand final day? Stick it right up the AFL by turning your backs on the big Snoop Dogg while he's performing. I like that. That's a good one. Would you get 100,000 turning their back on him?
Doubt it, because everybody's got mixed opinions. We find that here on 5AA. You get a varying of opinions, but it would for those
Spud, if I'm
for those that find it hypocritical, that would be an interesting
I'm one of them.
Protest.
I'm one of them. Spud, you have my word. If the Crows make it and I'm calling the game, I will turn my back on the big Snoop Dogg.
And I'll turn my tally down.
Okay. Hello, Warwick.
G'day, boys. Just a quick one, because I know you're pressed for time tonight. Do you think with the delay in the outcome for this case, do you think we're headed for some sort of negotiated outcome?
Well, they're doing that now.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I think it's if it wasn't going to be, if it was clean cut as to what had happened and all that, we would have had an outcome Sunday. They knew all the facts.
Yep.
But for it to drag on like this, I think we're headed for some sort of negotiated outcome, which will seem, if we do make the grand final, get there. But it's starting to get murkier and murkier.
Yeah, exactly what's happening. We heard someone say insinuating circumstances. It's either 4 or 5. Where does it land? And I think that's what they're debating, and the Crows having a fair crack at it. CLK Legal, Adelaide forward Josh Rochelle will be available for selection, ... in 2 or 3 weeks' time. So he'll be available for the first week of the finals. Hopefully he gets a sample game in maybe.
Well, there's a sample final in between.
Matty Crouch is experiencing some ongoing hip pain. I think that's him done. I think he's put his hand up. It's too sore. And Max, this is Max Michael, and he has progressed through the rehab, will be available after the North Melbourne game. So too Luke Pedler. So that's really good news for CLK Legal. Really good news.
CLK Legal for Port Adelaide. Josh Sin has been ruled out of this weekend's Gold Coast clash with Aliir to be tested. So adding to that extensive list that I have in front of me that we do not have time to read out. And Ollie Wands, of course, he is going up tonight.
At 5:45, so just under an hour.
5:45 to try and challenge the 3 games.
He'll get off.
Oh, yeah. Good one,
I bet
mate.
he gets off. Have you seen it?
Yeah, of course I did.
He got 3 weeks for that.
Yeah.
Oh, please.
Yeah, and
geez, I love the VFL. I mean the AFL.
Judging by your recent history of those,
He'll get 8.
He'll get 8.
Do you have a personal injury claim? Get the compensation you deserve. Visit clklegal.com.au.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
SA. It's who we are. It's what we do. It's where you know your barista by name, and they know yours. Where your fruit and veg shop keeps you smiling with seasonal goodness straight from the farm. And your favourite local spot always comes through with the goods. It's all the things that make us, us. And buying local means $1 spent here stays here. So when you're out and about, look for the state logo and buy SA for SA. A message from the Government of South Australia.
Shot, Georgie.
Stay on him, Ashy.
Well done, Georgie.
Come on, Ashy.
Get him,
Go,
Georgie.
Ashy.
Go now.
Ashy.
Now
Ashy.
run. Pick your head up. Get after
Go, girl.
him.
Jeez. You know what's more competitive than those two? Hyundai's offers across a wide range of new and demonstrator models like the Dynamic Tucson. From $39,990 drive away, it's game on at your participating Hyundai dealer today. T's and C's and exclusions at hyundai.com.au.
Hello, Frank Walker from National Tiles. The National Tiles famous annual winter spend and save is on now. Spend $4,000 will only charge you $2,750. Or spend $2,000 will only charge you $1,450. Or $1,000 and will only charge you $750. Don't miss the National Tiles famous annual winter spend and save on now. So rush into a National Tiles store near you or go online at nationaltiles.com.au now and save. Conditions apply.
Wow, that is not a hotel. That's a broom closet with Wi-Fi. Could have sorted it with RAA Travel.
Book an appointment with RAA Travel Agents and elevate your holiday. RAA, it's better to be a member.
The passing of someone close places unique stress on family and friends. At this time, Farrell & O'Neill Funerals are here to provide reassurance and peace of mind. Farrell & O'Neill offer creative guidance and advice to tailor a service that best honours your loved one. Whether a large gathering or a small, intimate service, Farrell & O'Neill share their generations of experience in tailoring a unique and meaningful farewell. Proudly SA family-owned and operated. Because it's personal.
Today's reverse ducted air conditioning systems offer so much more than just an on-off switch, which is why REQ Air Conditioning will spend as much time as you need to get familiar with all the functions and controls of your new system. It means you'll get the most out of it from the very start. No guesswork required. Stay cool, stay warm, save money and master the remote with REQ Air Conditioning and Energy Solutions. Google REQ Air Conditioning for a free in-home quote.
With Bridgestone Tech Check, our technicians send you a 60-second video inspection that shows you what needs repairing now and what can wait, so you can go with confidence. Bridgestone Select Tyre and Auto.
The very latest news and information. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Clear tonight and sunny tomorrow, a high of 19. With the 5 o'clock news, I'm Kendall Brettig.
Sportal, South Australian sports hardware and software for elite and community clubs.
A young woman has died in a crash at Mobilong near Murray Bridge this afternoon. Emergency crews were called to Pump Road just after 1 p.m. after a car ran off the road into a channel of water. The 21-year-old passenger died at the scene. Another 21-year-old suffered minor injuries. Major crash investigators are examining the circumstances. The woman's death is the 53rd life lost on our roads this year. A royal commission into domestic, family and sexual violence in SA has made 136 recommendations, 7 which will be implemented immediately. They include a standalone ministerial portfolio and a 5-year statewide strategy. The government will respond to the other recommendations by the end of the year. Premier Peter Malinauskas says the 700-page report made for harrowing reading.
When you read the Voices document, the real experiences of families turned upside down, women, through no fault of their own, experience the most acute trauma. They paint more than a picture. They put in the front of our mind a clear representation of why this Royal Commission was necessary and why enacting its recommendations as best as we can is really important.
But Opposition Leader Vincent Tarzia says the government's response has been inadequate.
If you look at the state of Victoria, the response to domestic violence in that state was 1,000 times bigger. 3 million over here versus 3 billion over there. So the response that they made today was completely inadequate, given the enormity, the scourge that domestic violence is causing in our society.
Business groups say initial talks at Labor's Economic Roundtable have been positive. Business and union leaders, along with government bureaucrats, have joined the Prime Minister and Treasurer in Canberra. The focus is on coming up with ideas to grow the economy and lift productivity. Treasurer Jim Chalmers says some proposals may be adopted quickly.
So this is an ambitious group, this is an ambitious government, and we have an ambitious agenda before us. Global uncertainty surrounds us, big economic challenges confront us, and our collective ambition needs to meet this moment.
The Ukrainian president says he's open to meeting with Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin in proposed trilateral talks. Speaking outside the White House after meeting the US president, Zelensky says there are no timelines for the discussions at this stage.
We don't have any day. We just conformed after this productive meeting with the president and then with all our colleagues, with the partners, who confirmed that we are ready for a trilateral meeting.
And the government says Israel's decision to expel Australian diplomats from the West Bank is not justified. 3 officials who'd been serving as envoys to the Palestinian Authority have had their visas revoked. The move is in response to Australia's move to cancel the visa of an Israeli politician and the government's push for Palestinian statehood. Deputy Prime Minister Richard Marles says Israel's isolating itself on the world stage.
This is a disappointing and unjustified reaction to Australia and our decision around the recognition of a Palestinian state. This is a moment where we need to be promoting dialogue, and this is a very disappointing and unjustified step.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Kick goals with Floor World. With 4 locations around Adelaide, it's never been easier to score the best deal.
A decision on Isaac Ranken's suspension for a homophobic slur has been pushed back to tomorrow. The Crows are reportedly trying to secure a discount on the ban so he could play in the grand final should they make it. The most recent bans for on-field homophobic slurs have been 4 or 5 weeks. Outgoing Port Adelaide coach Ken Hinckley's opened up on his legacy as he prepares to coach his final game for Port.
Didn't make grand final, didn't win one. That's probably what it'll be. That's the reality of football. We built the footy club up. We've done really well with lots of things. Well, ultimately we didn't quite get to the end, but you have to be pretty proud of what Port Adelaide Football Club is today.
Well, Ollie Wines will face the tribunal tonight, hoping to overturn his 3-match ban so he can play. South Africa is 5 for 241 in the 42nd over after being sent into bat first in the opening one-day international against Australia in Cairns. And an emotional Yannick Sinner has retired from the Cincinnati Open final against Carlos Alcaraz with illness, only 6 days before he begins his US Open title defence. Now I'm checking 5AA traffic.
Charmin Shelving have moved their showroom next door into the big white building, still at 412 North East Road.
Afternoon at Edinburgh North, a crash. PT Road near Hewitson Road, Craigmore, Carvey Building, Yorktown Road near Turner Drive. Slow for works at Queenstown, Port Road near Webber Street, and getting busy for works Mile End South, Richmond Road near Chatham Road. Cameras, Hallett Road, Stonyfell and Grand Junction Road at Clearview tonight. Here's another ding-dong deal from Uber Eats. $10 deals on select Pet Barn and treats, including toys. Head to Ding Dong Deals on the Uber Eats app. Ends August 24. Fees, T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Get the Toyota forklift advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Clear tonight and sunny tomorrow, a high of 19. Becoming cloudy on Thursday, 20. Partly cloudy for Friday, 19. And more of the same on Saturday, down to 16. At the moment, 15. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Kate Collins. Tonight, our domestic violence crisis laid bare. The Royal Commission findings aiming to end the scourge. How soon could Presidents Trump, Putin and Zelensky be in the same room? Ken Hinckley's emotional final pre-match press conference. And Woolworths cuts the prices on hundreds of everyday items. 9 News, your news, nightly at 6 on 9 and 9 now.
Stay informed, get involved. 5AA, always Adelaide. Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
He hasn't been outside, and he had a full day of investigation with the AFL yesterday, and until such time the sanction is handed down, I can't comment on that. What I can comment on, I know that our footy club is a very positive and supportive environment, and we will support Ranks. However, we don't agree with what happened.
That's Taylor Walker on Triple M earlier today at 8 minutes after 5. Still to come on tonight's show, Ned McHenry's going to join us in studio. We'll speak with Graham Yallop after the passing of Bob Simpson over the weekend, and Royal Adelaide show tickets to give away, plus your chance to win 5AA locker room tickets to Friday night footy when Port Adelaide farewell Travis Boak against the Gold Coast Suns. So that's coming up later on in the program. You can watch us live on the Wavell Hyundai live stream as well. We're currently on Facebook and YouTube if you wish to watch on, because Campo's arrived.
On the 5AA Sports Show, this is Coach's Corner with Scott Camporeale. Thanks to Unique Homestyle Foods, proudly baking for hundreds of South Australian businesses for 35 years. Greatness in the making.
Oh, Campo, we should be celebrating a Crows win against Collingwood. First time at Adelaide Oval in, 10 outings. It's the 11th in tricky conditions to finish top 2 home finals, but yet we wake up to the news Isaac Ranken let rip with a homophobic slur in a game.
It's disappointing, isn't it?
Isn't it?
You feel for, the community, we're supposed to be sending, standing up for, these things. They're well educated, these players. I keep saying it. They're the best educated group in the country around, race, gender, all those things. And we continually, keep having to, go through these scenarios. But it's, that's a society fact, but if you're looking at pure footy, Matthew Nicks would be pretty disappointed. Like, as a senior coach, and I had a bit of a look, and I've said it the last few weeks, he's a September player, Isaac Ranken. Like, if you're ever going to think of someone that might be, you think of Andrew McLeod, you think of Bobby Hill, you think of those players.
Cyril
Rioli, absolutely. You sit there and go, geez.
He's born for this.
He's the number 1 score involvement player for the Crows. So you think every time that they score, he's involved in those chains. Like, he's a big miss if they do. Now, can they still win? I think they can.
Yep.
I think, that it's never just one player.
No.
And that's probably a plan going to have to move on with.
They have to. Yeah, absolutely. And if it is, it is.
Yeah.
Like, there's it's black and white, move on. But he's got to be, for me, he's got to be round the club. He's got to be supporting the group. He can't just, go off into the sunset, and he needs to be there front and centre and support his teammates.
I went from shock to frustration, and now my attention's turned a little bit to anger. I'm just a bit angry that someone or an incident like that, and look, I'm not going to sit in a glass house and say, God, we all understand that, but we've kicked ourselves fair in the nuts. This is an own goal. This is something we didn't want to do. I'm interested in the ramifications of the team's psyche with this.
Yep.
Half the club would be supportive, this is players, and the other half would be going, no, I'm bloody peed off with you.
Yeah.
Get us inside that psyche.
Yeah, it is. It's an interesting one, because I think most of them would be pretty disappointed around
100%.
it, because they know how integral he is to the team.
Well said.
Also, Campo, there's one text here that I heard you talking about off air, and it says, I would say education across the board for all players on respect and multicultural issues. It's an inclusive sport. If you don't make mistakes, you don't make anything. Tell us about how much education goes on.
Well,
And there's 5 sighters.
Well, I haven't.
This one.
I haven't been in there since the end of 2019. But previously, that's a yearly conversation that you have people come in, experts in the area, that give real life scenarios, or they might be, specific people in the areas around those types of things. And you sit there, you go through it, there's any questions, everyone clear, and you have to literally sign your name off to say that you've been there. And if you don't do it, you've got to do a make-up session
and
around
then there's sessions on drugs, isn't there?
Yep.
There's sessions on gambling.
Women, respect to women.
It is
all those. They cover all those things.
We have it here. We have education on all that.
Well,
Most
every workplace has it
workplaces
now.
do.
Well,
Yeah.
it's a HR
It is.
thing
It's
now.
huge.
But I guess where it comes is because of the profile, and you heard Darcy Fogarty, where, where profile, we need to be setting the example. And unfortunately, once again, we've slipped. But in terms of internally, they'd be disappointed. There's no question, especially with Josh Rochelle, him being, still, a percentage away. In terms
2
of
to
whether
3 weeks for CLK legal.
Yeah, we'll wait and see on that.
Yeah, I agree.
We'll wait and see on that. Like, he's missed a lot of footy, and if we're expecting him to come in and be
Isaac
the
Ranken.
player, no, not even Isaac Ranken, the player that he was previously to, he's missed a lot of footy, and we know that long-term injuries, that takes a little bit of time, and then you get thrown in the cut and thrust of a final.
It's a knee, not a soft tissue.
So there's a risk in that, but. As important that he is, I think that they can galvanise the group and they can get through. And if he's not there, they have to move on. And I think they've got plenty of other opportunities to get it done.
There's a good unique homestyle food text from Sean at Hillbank, who's asking here for a little bit of a Shane Ellen slight move. He says, leave Bond in defence, and when Michael Annie comes back, put him in the forward line.
I'm putting him in the midfield.
Yeah, I don't think with someone like Isaac Rankin, he's not apples for apples, is he?
No.
Because of his X factor. And that's the challenge and the disappointment. Like, if he's, let's say he's the second string midfielder or whatever, you can probably cover that. But what he's been able to do, Isaac, in pivotal moments in big games, there's not many in the comp that can do it.
No.
And that's the frustrating bit, because grand final day, you might need a goal at forward 50, and he's the obvious. He's like Robbie Gray.
He pops up when you need him.
They just get it done, those guys. So that's the challenge of it all. So disappointing. I'm disappointed, to be honest. And once again, I'm not allegiance to any team at the moment, but it's disappointing.
So how did they win the game with 71 to 37 inside 50?
Plus 34.
Well, it's an interesting one, Timmy, because early in the game they got opened up with transition and they got smacked around the ball. So it was a Hawthorn-esque game once again in terms of those numbers. And
template.
I wrote down every note, 6 to 24 inside 50. I mean, now there's inside 50s and then there's inside 50s, right? So we can get carried away with the number, but ultimately there was still enough pressure on the ball through the midfield. You had 2 guys pretty much in Worrell and Keane that have been outstanding all year to be able to repel and intercept mark. I think structurally Collingwood don't have the key forwards like we spoke about it after the game, Rowey, didn't we, around. If Adelaide had 70-odd entries, they would have kicked 200 points because they've actually got 2 key forwards that actually, so Collingwood have got Myercheck, Jamie Elliott, that are sort of battling, and it's always been a bit like that. So they're not in trouble, Collingwood, but that's one thing. They were able to get it done grand final day a couple of years ago, let's not forget, but they don't have a focal point that can go in there. And these intercept markers, if they get held down, like Jamie Elliott gets held down by, a Brodie Smith or one of those guys, or Bond, in terms of that, then Worrell comes into play. So you can have those sort of numbers, but I'm not sure Matthew Nicks would be overly impressed. They would have had a look and they would have drilled down as to what it was. A lot of it came off clearance as well, which is still a bit of a concern for me, out of centre bounce. They got it done in the last quarter, so they were awful in the first 3 quarters, but they were 5-zip in the last quarter, Adelaide, so they were able to rectify it. And that's probably been reflective of their year. They've been able to, when things haven't gone right, they've been able to pull a lever and they've been able to rectify it, which is a sign of good coaching and a good group that actually understand what they need to do.
I want to drill down a bit with that. There's a bit of a trend to the losses. Geelong's last quarter, round 5, if you can remember that, the gather round. I think they won by 19 points and they were down at three-quarter time and they won it out of centre square and just controlled the ball.
Yep.
Lions round 13 plus 23 for inside 50s. Remember that last quarter, Crows kicked 5 straight from 8 inside 50s.
Yep.
They kicked 8 points. And you said the damn wall's going to break. They had 23 inside 50s. And the Collingwood game, there is a trend there and it's losing centre square, playing front half footy in the back half, their front half, and losing the contest and stoppage. There is a trend, and that alarms me come finals time.
Yeah, but you'd have to say, I mean, you're talking about 3 quarters there, aren't you? So for majority of the year, they've been able to get it done pretty well. So
but they're all against top opponents.
Yeah, and that's fine. But if you could go the flip side as well, if your glass half full, you're there going, well, Adelaide have been able to do it for 3 quarters against. Now, you're not going to get the game on your terms for the whole time, but what they've been able to show is, one, they can rectify on the run, and 2, their defensive game style and mechanisms allow them to perhaps get away with some of those things and then fight back in with some of the levers that they pull. So you think about, the signs that get put up, getting back in the contest, a little bit of own the footy, take some tempo out, get some field position. And if they get inside 50s, I've said it all year, they're going to score.
That's it. And I think that's what's keeping them in those games. Absolutely. If you have a look at it, and I'll go back to the Brisbane one, 8 inside 50s for 5 straight. They have stars down there that are massive with conversion. And that's keeping them and the scoreboard ticking over. Is that something you can rely on come grand final day?
Well, I think it's, it is.
Or prelim day, or finals day.
Yeah, I think it is. Because if you get the game on your terms...
back off.
We should never have been on.
It shouldn't have.
Come on.
But I blew it off. But I want to do a production piece to put it back on. Isaac out.
Can't reverse it.
No,
Can you?
It's gone. It's lost into the universe.
Yeah.
It's gone.
All right, now I'm going to stick by it.
No, I'm still comfortable with where they're at. They've shown enough against the better teams. If they were, zip and 8 against those teams with some concern, you'd be more concerned. But I think the maturity of the group, and they've got great self-belief.
Yeah, North Melbourne this week. What about Port, Timmy?
Well, I was going to bring up to you, Port got beaten up again in the first half with all the same numbers, all the same difficulties. 16-3 centre clearances first half, and they waltzed out. Walsh, I didn't even know... I thought he was playing a game on his own out the backyard. He was just walking away without being tackled at all. So it really was alarming. Okay, they win the second half by a point and, put up better numbers and the like. And you go, I think they just won the centre clearances second half. But you go, why isn't that fight there right at the beginning? Why do you have to get yourself into that sort of 55-point deficit to sort of go, okay, now it's time to fight? They've been doing this for far too long. Finals as well, where this is the final you have to win. You have to win that first final, get beat up around the ball again. How do they resurrect that through a summer? Can you improve that much over a summer in those areas?
Yeah, I think you can.
And also skill level?
Yeah, I think you can. Yeah, I think you can.
Well, that's encouraging.
And why I say that is I think you've still got the group that can do it. So you think of that group that was in there, that first centre bounce, Butters, Rosie, and Wines, albeit I think TDK probably gave them a little bit better service than perhaps what Sweet did, in terms of being able to get it. And Carlton are a pretty good centre bounce team, and a stoppage team. So that was the concern going into the game, that Port hasn't had that as a strength this year, and they're always going to play a front half game, Carlton, and their pressure allowed him to. And Harry Mackay had a day out on, with Aaliyah probably being on one leg. To be fair, he didn't look fit at all with his knee, and then obviously rolled his ankle in that marking contest. But to answer your question is yes, you can. You could see that they obviously were able to change something around, but I think it's more around adding some more pieces to the puzzle in terms of that. But I think it can change around. As you know, Tim, you've coached. Sometimes they're just off. Like the season's been a long year, they've gone through a lot. And then quarter time they get a bit of a wake-up call, bit of self-pride, let's get it going. Now, I'm not saying that's right or wrong, but unfortunately that's what happens.
Well, let's take some calls, Campo, after the break. We've opened it up all show to our listeners. We want you to have your say. You be the voice. We've got a $50 Pals voucher to give away. We've got the tickets to give away to the
We do, a little bit later.
Locker room.
Don't forget that.
Hold tight, Port fans.
Lines available.
Locker room tickets are up for grabs a little later on tonight. 20 minutes after 5 for Unique Homestyle Foods. We've got Campo. Here's your traffic.
G'day there at Enfield. A crash, Main North Road near Whittington Street. Hillier Works, Anglevale Road near Steppen Heath Road. Slow for works at Brown Hill Creek, the freeway to Mount Barker Road, and getting busy southward at Glendale near the old tram overpass. Cameras, Port Road, Queenstown, and Trimmer Parade at Seaton. 2 days until The Naked Gun, the best Naked Gun film since the last one, starring Liam Neeson and Pamela Anderson in cinemas from this Thursday. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
Catch the 5AA Fishing Show, presented by Ned McHenry, Tuesday nights from 6:30. See the full Yamaha Marine range at Yamaha Pitmans, Coast Road Motors, South Coast Marine and Christie's Beach Marine.
Hi, it's Hazel from Physio Extra. If you're in pain today because you had a big weekend on the footy field, on the court or in the garden, give us a call today for a same-day appointment. For example, if you rolled your ankle, try and stay off it as much as possible, compress it and add a little bit of ice. When you come in for your appointment, we might ask you questions like if you heard any sounds, if you've hurt the area before, or if you've done anything similar on the opposite side.
It's the extra in Physio Extra that makes all the difference. Visit physioextra.com for your nearest location or call for a same-day appointment.
At Coles, you can save with half-price specials across selected sports, vitamin and diet nutrition. Like half-price Masashi Protein Crisp Bars, 60 grams, now just $2.45. In-store or online at Coles. Excludes everyday, down and clearance items. Offer ends Tuesday.
Crowies, the best paint, premium paint, the best stores. There's one near you. Get to visit crowiespaints.com.au. No matter what you're painting or staining or doing, get in there. Whether it's timber, metal, tiles or steel. Hello, what's your name? Stephen, are you a painter? No. Yes, I am. I'm a master painter. What's your name? Tim. I can't paint. Well, you need some advice, Tim.
Yeah, I do.
You need drop seats. You need the sash cutters. You need the undercoat, the top coat, this coat, that coat.
What's a sash cutter?
You need, well, that's just a brand of paintbrush that I use.
Oh.
Yeah. 63 mil, cut in, bang, bang, bang. And what are you laughing at, Campo?
Yeah. I don't paint.
No, you don't.
No.
What were you? You were an electrician.
I'm a Sparky. Yeah.
You're a Sparky.
There's one thing you pay for as a painter.
Yeah.
That's my philosophy.
That is, and that's why you go to Crowies. You go to Crowies and they'll give you all the advice. You'll love their quality. You'll love their price. They only use premium quality paint. Do this, please. Visit crowiespaints.com.au for a store near you.
Kids don't want to wait. The sooner, the better. Every moment is a chance to learn and grow. And they're right. It is. The first few years of a child's development play a hugely important part in their future, in learning and in life. That's why the state government is rolling out 3-year-old preschool from 2026. Because the sooner they start, the further they can go. Learn more at flyingstart.sa.gov.au. A message from the Government of South Australia.
At Complete Care, we're more than just a care provider, we're a family. As we celebrate our 10th year, our mission remains the same, to empower our specialised team of carers and client service managers to help our seniors live independently. We provide personalised services including cleaning and home maintenance to social support and transportation. We look after you like family, offering a warm, caring touch that sets us apart. At Complete Care, we're the company with heart. Complete Care with a K.
It's showtime at Wayville Hyundai, and we want to show you how good servicing your car can be. Want free parking for the Royal Show? Get your car serviced at Wayville Hyundai. Roll up, because there's even more with a $25 food and drink coupon and a free car wash and vacuum. Plus, you can service your car now and pay later with Afterpay. Showtime bookings are now open. Change the way you Hyundai at Wayville Hyundai, opposite the showground.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
At 24 minutes after 5, we're taking your calls with Campo in studio, all thanks to Unique Homestyle Foods, 8223 0000.
Let's go to Andrew's Farm. Lines available. Alex, we've got Campo in here.
Hi, gentlemen. Now, I've heard you this afternoon saying the club is negotiating with the AFL with regards to the suspension. Do you reckon they would have brought up the whole goal fiasco that we suffered last year, and maybe something along the lines of, if, let's say, Isaac is scrubbed out for, 5 or 6 weeks, maybe to stipulate in there, fine, he'll serve the ban, but if the Crows do make the finals, can that ban be waived on that day only? Like something like that.
Alex, that's drawing a long bow.
I think
the hairy chest game was 2 weeks
they're
ago.
negotiating, though, aren't we?
No. It's a negotiated outcome. The Crows will be speaking to the AFL. The AFL to them. What do you think's appropriate? How many times did he say it? Who did he say it to? Has he got form and all? They're negotiating between 4 and 5. I can nearly guarantee it. AFL love this behind closed doors. Everything's a negotiated outcome with them.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
How about you pull your big man pants up, do the top button up, and just go 4 or 5?
Yeah. Well, I don't disagree with that. But I'm not sure they're sitting there going, because Ben Keys's thing was...
No, they're not doing that. Alex was trying to... Alex,
and the Sam Draper, let's throw that one in. So there's 2 weeks. He's down to 3.
I like your thoughts, but we've had the hairy chest Friday night and Thursday night games, haven't we? Hello, Ray.
Hello, boys. How are you? That poor lady, she believes in Father Christmas, poor thing. That would be nice if that could happen, but it won't.
No. To all you kids out there, I still believe.
Rowey, don't be such a defeatist, mate. The Crows can still win the premiership. What's the matter with you?
I hope so, Ray. I'm with you.
They will.
I'm with you.
I backed them to win. They'll win, all right.
I hope you're right.
I hope this lady only gets 3, but even if he doesn't, I don't want to talk about it anymore. I'm just sick of it. But I reckon I saw where it happened over there. The cameraman showed it to us a couple of times late in the game. The white-headed bloke, the bald-headed bloke that plays for Collingwood, he and another 2 were stirring this bloke, and I reckon he bit and came back and said it without meaning to his party. But I just wish Curley and Foss Williams and Jack Odie to a certain extent were told about this. They just would. Can you imagine, Curly? You just couldn't imagine it. He said, I thought this was a man's game. What carries out on the field stays on the field. Let me tell you something, Rowey, that you don't know about. I happen to know a bloke that worked in football AFL House in Melbourne. And I reckon now Dylan could stop this if he wanted to, because the previous bloke did on one occasion. I'll tell you how. What was his name? The South Australian bloke.
Gil McLaughlin.
Who?
Gil McLaughlin.
That's him. Thank you very much. Now, he walked through on the Monday morning through to his office, and here's the integrity group, whatever they like to call themselves. They're there bright and early, and they're working out half a dozen of them, what they're going to do and who we're going to hit this weekend and blah, blah, blah. And he walked through with his satchel in his hand, and as he went past, he said to them, that West... the bloke, name like Westerland or Westman from Essendon, I think, name like that, he was reported. He said, there's nothing in that, boys, so forget all about it, just get on to the next one. And that's what he said as he went past.
A stroke of a pen. Did he have a satchel or a man purse, Ray? Hello, David. well, who?
Hello.
Hello, Ray.
Go for it, David.
I'm on.
You're on, buddy.
So let's presume Isaac Ranken gets suspended, and let's move on and let's be positive. So I've been thinking about who's the next up. We keep saying the next up. So I'll ask a question first to you guys. Who do you reckon has got the speed, the evasiveness, and the X factor of the guys that haven't been playing? That should be the guy that comes up next. And then once you're answered, I'll give my view on it.
Well, on the unique home-style food text, on this unique home-style food text, there's one bloke whose name's coming up 100 to 1 to the others. Murphy.
So, who?
He's already in.
That's what who? Yeah, exactly. No, where's Sid Draper? Are you Sid Draper?
I'm absolutely Sid Draper.
Well done, Dave.
The X factor, he's the wild card. You know, let's be positive. Give the kid a go. You know, in some ways we've got nothing to lose, but he can play in the middle. He can play up forward. He's got some speed. He's got an invasion. He's got a bit of X factor about him. This could be the making of him and us. So let's go.
Yeah,
Campo.
I'm probably not so. I think that's the obvious one that everyone goes to, but I'm not sure. I mean, I'm a Sid Draper fan. Don't get me wrong, but he's hardly played any AFL footy.
And why is that? Because I'm surprised he hasn't.
Well, because of the depth of the midfield. So the makeup of that midfield, and as
they
you
do
know,
like the mix of it.
The mix of it is, got a nice look to it, and it's been pretty consistent. They got mature bodies in there. Sid's a super talent, and he's going to be a great player for a long time.
A lot of guys start like Butters and Rosie forward.
Correct, but I'm not sure, and I'm staying corrected, but I'm not sure Sid's a natural goal kicker. across his junior footy. And so, and it's a big ask because then he comes in and everyone's expecting him to be Isaac Ranken because he comes and fits in. I think it's an interesting one. I don't necessarily have the answer at this point in time.
It's Rochelle.
Well, it's Rochelle, but once again, he's underdone for mine. But I'm not convinced that Sid's the answer to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just the 4 goals for Sid Draper from his 13 sample games, so you're right.
Hey, Campo, well done. You put me at ease. The lid's still off. We can still win it.
You can still win it.
No,
Be up
it's
and
off.
about, mate.
I am.
It's a team game.
I love it when you're in
system
because you straighten me up. I tend to get off the railroad tracks and I tend to get a bit, and then you come in and I'm back.
Good.
Campo, sorry about that. We didn't have a cake for you this week.
I'm still trying to get through the last one.
You turned 50 again.
Did you eat it?
Well, we had a slice when we went home, and then I had to go in and do my Channel 7 segment, so I took the rest of it in there, and it just went woof. See you later.
There you go. That's how you do it.
That's it.
And Matty B did it for us. At Unique Homestyle Foods, proudly baking for hundreds of South Australian businesses, large and small, for 35 years. Hustlers in the baking industry. Visit uniquehomestylefoods.com.au. Bring us Campo.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Good afternoon, I'm Kendall Brettig. A car's flipped and plunged into the water at Mobilong near Murray Bridge, killing a 21-year-old woman. 136 recommendations have been made to address domestic violence in SA. Police in Dubai have thwarted the heist of a $25 million pink diamond. And Port Solly Wines will face the tribunal tonight, hoping to overturn his 3-match ban. Now I'm checking 5AA traffic.
Sharman Shelving have moved their showroom next door into the big white building, still at 412 North East Road.
Afternoon at Enfield, a crash to look out for Main North Road near Whittington Street, but outside of that, should have a pretty good run home tonight, which is good, isn't it? Do have works at Blackwood to look out for, Main Road near Miller Terrace, also at Renown Park, South Road near Tate Street. A little busy at the moment, Marion Road at the Anzac Highway intersection for those ongoing works, and busy Tapless Hill Road, Glenelg North, pretty normal this time of night. Camera South Terrace, Wingfield and Trimmer Parade at Seaton. Guzmani Gomez's Chicken Mini Meal, a big eat at a mini price. Mini chicken burrito with free-range chicken fries and drink, just $12. Grab yours today at GYG. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Clear tonight and sunny tomorrow, a high of 19. At the moment, 15. More news at 6 o'clock on 5AA, always Adelaide.
We love sample footy so much that we're taking the sports show on the road again.
That's right, Timmy. This Thursday, we're live from the brand new Woodville West Torrens Eagles Bar and Bistro, 722.
Yeah, swing by if you're heading down Port Road and join us from 4. We might even treat you to maybe a cold one or two.
So it's all thanks to the sample and 5AA, always Adelaide, and your home of footy.
Last month, we serviced around 11,000 vehicles, more than 1,500 Fords, 1,200 Holdens, 1,000 Subarus, 800 Isuzus, MGs, BMWs, Mercs, Audis. That's right, over 11,000 people trusted us with their pride and joy. Automasters, isn't it time for you to switch and save? Call 1300 Automasters or book online. All centres offer repair now, pay later options. So switch and save with Automasters. Great service, guaranteed.
Pankind. Pancreatic Cancer Australia is raising urgently needed funds for research into Australia's third biggest cancer killer, which claims 75 lives weekly. Remember September is your chance to lower that number. Grab some friends and walk 75Ks in September for those we've lost or for those facing pancreatic cancer, the toughest common cancer. Register at rememberseptember.org.au.
For those whose pool is the main feature of their yard, Walco offer a special mesh cover to keep debris and leaves out while making your pool area look stunning all through winter. Join the great cover-up and ask Walco about their stylish new mesh pool covers. Walco.com.au.
Agostino Mitsubishi's demo clearance sale is on right now with loads of demo vehicles that must go.
They're absolutely overstocked, so why pay full price when you could drive away with a feature-packed demo model for less?
Plus, they're including 10 years warranty and cap price servicing with any demo car purchased during the sale.
Agostino Mitsubishi's demo clearance sale is on now. Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes. Hurry, stock won't last.
With Big Difference Home Improvements, you can make a big difference to your next family gathering, your next Christmas lunch, or your next quiet time. Just you, a nice book, favourite bevy, and a place to relax. Big Difference Home Improvements make all the difference when it comes to outdoor blinds and roller shutters, verandas, pergolas, carports, or a stunning timber deck. Ask the Big D team for a free measure and quote today. Don't just make a difference, make a big difference. Visit bigdifference.com.au.
Last month, around 11,000 people trusted us with their pride and joy. Automasters, logbook servicing, repairs, brakes, aircon and more. Isn't it time for you to switch and save? Call 1300 Automasters. Great service guaranteed.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
We're going to get back to your calls very shortly. It's 24 minutes to 6. Very soon as well. Some Port Adelaide locker room tickets to give away. Stay tuned, Port fans. We'll have that coming up very shortly. But talking giveaways, are you ready to go? It's time for the Royal Adelaide Show, presented by Drake's. You can book your tickets at theshow.com.au and Drake's Supermarkets. We have a double pass to give away, as we have all the way through the week. If you'd like to win, 8223 0055. You can win those right now, all thanks to Drake's Supermarkets. But right now, let's get to our next guest. All thanks to Parafield Airport Liquor, home of the hardest to find wines, beers and spirits. Life's better with your pals.
Well, Rowey, we learnt of the sad passing of a cricket legend, I reckon, here in Australia, because he almost had 3 lives as an Australian cricketer player, the World Series comeback, the coach, and I think we're going to get a bit of an insight from a man who captained Australia himself, and in that real tumultuous time of the World Series cricket. Graham Yallop joins us. G'day, Graham.
G'day, how you going?
Yeah, we're a bit sad to see Bobby go. He lived a full life though, and what I think that 3 stages of his life in Australian cricket was true, wasn't it? The player, the comeback, and the coach.
Absolutely, and obviously I was involved with the comeback.
Yeah.
And at 41, it's just an amazing effort for him to face up to the likes of the West Indies, who had those 4 quick bowlers who bowled in excess of 150 k's an hour. So great effort for him to come back, and he hadn't played for 10 years.
Yeah, it was
a fantastic effort.
I think it was admired by everybody, and the fact that he did it. But how important was he in that first year of World Series cricket for what was a very young outfit?
Oh, look, we were exceptionally young and very, very inexperienced, weren't we? And I was probably the most experienced player in the squad, and I'd played 8 test matches. So, mate, it was a fantastic effort for him to come back. He was a very approachable guy, and I found him to be a fantastic mentor.
Yeah.
So, and he helped all the young guys. He was a good guy, overall good guy.
Yeah, well said, Graham. Condolences to all his teammates and his family. It was 77, 78. Bob retired for a decade, came back. We did the tour of the West Indies, where you said he batted courageously. If you have a look at the record, he didn't do too bad. You replaced him as captain after that. The Australian Cricket Board moved him on and you were made captain. How tough was that for you? And just describe that time for us.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether he was passed over. I think he just decided to hang up the boots.
Okay.
And he had enough after that first year or so. But, look, again, we were very, very young and inexperienced, and, that showed up in our performances. Even though we performed at times well, it was just that the inexperience and playing against some amazing, very, very experienced international sides.
He was a giant of Australian cricket, no doubt about it. As he said, he captained us, he coached us. Just describe him as a cricketer for us. He had a magnificent cricket brain.
Oh, look, he did, and he helped us enormously over that period of time, and that's the only time really I had anything to do with him. And but he was so helpful, and just helped everyone in the team, around the team. He was generally approachable at all times, and mate, I just couldn't believe he came back at 41 and faced the guys that we were facing. And don't forget, we were about 21, 22 years of age.
Yeah. He was 41.
And he was 41. Amazing effort.
Yeah, just a number age, Graham, as we all get older. In 86, he became our head coach, and he did shape careers. If you speak to the likes of Steve Waugh and Shane Warne, even Alan Border and Glenn McGrath, he turned us into the best fielding team ever, and he thought if you're a good fielding team, you can stay in the games? Just describe him as a coach and what he meant to Australia back then.
Yeah, I found he was a very, very good batting coach. He was obviously a batsman himself, but from his knowledge to pass on all the information that we could gain from international cricket, that he was a terrific mentor. And from a fielding point of view, yes, he put enormous emphasis on fielding, and it certainly turned us around as a nation to be probably one of the best fielding sides in the world.
Is it true? Then. Is it true he coined the phrase "catches win matches"?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And he was a tremendous slip catch. Oh, amazing! And some of the catches he took when he was 41 in the slips, we were just in awe of how he performed.
Wow.
We were very encouraged by how he helped us along the way, and which made us into better players.
Graham, I wondered, how did he handle characters like Rodney Hogg? Now Rodney played very well underneath him, but I would have thought that he would have been at times a character to handle.
Yeah, Rod's his own man, as you know.
Yeah.
But look, Simo took him with a grain of salt, I think, and he treated everyone equally. So, he didn't single anyone out to be ferociously bad. I mean, he was a guy that helped everyone, as I mentioned. So, yeah, no, great fella and a great passing. It's terrible for us to realise that it was his passing. It's
sort of that era of cricketer that I think it was almost the changing of the guard then in that 70s period where that almost that gentleman cricket sort of disappeared, I would say, where you had the Richie Benaud and a bloke like Bobby Simpson and Alan Davidson and these sort of guys, and then I think
Alan Border comes along.
Cricket changed in the 70s, there's no doubt. So he was probably one of those.
Oh, it
did. He would have been one of those past players that still had those qualities. Is that fair?
No, he did. He was never sledged anyone.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely amazing.
Definitely didn't belong in the 70s.
No, that's right. No, he was out of his depth there from that point of view. But no, Simo was always the good guy.
That's a nice thing to have. I think Richie Benaud carried that in his own life as well. When Rowey was talking about the fielding, I sort of did notice that the Australian team through that period of a decade started to lose players that perhaps weren't of the fittest nature. Is that a fair way to describe it?
No, that's very fair. And when you look at the other sides around the world, the English had players like I call him Milburn, who was a fairly rotund gentleman at the time, and we really concentrated on more of the batting and the bowling.
Yeah,
and that's what really helped us. And don't forget, these days they've got so many assistants.
Oh, yeah.
From a fielding perspective, from gym work. I mean, we never entered into a gym at all. For the whole of my career, I never went into a gym. But the amount of training we did in the nets, and these days they don't do a massive amount of training in the nets. There's a lot of fielding, as you mentioned, but a lot of gym work and strength work. Those days, we were in the nets for 4 or 5 hours at a time. And we found we really didn't get injured as they do now, but we had so much practice in the nets that we took that into the games and we were pretty successful at times.
Thanks for sharing your thoughts about the great man, valet Bob Simpson. And Graham, while we got you on, how are you travelling, mate? You all good?
Yeah, no, all good, thanks. Yep,
good man.
No problem. Doing a fair amount of coaching and a lot of clinics around the country.
Awesome.
So, we're helping all the younger guys out there.
Who's the next big thing? Give us some names.
Oh, gee, no, you can't copy on that one because you never know.
That's right.
Until they actually go. And obviously with the emphasis on 2020 and one-dayers, that we're just losing a little bit of impetus in the test arena from the from the guys from beneath, and we need to really concentrate on that because Test cricket will always be around.
Yep.
And because you ask a group of young guys at 13, 14, 15 what sort of form of the game do they want to play, and they all say, yes, we want to play Test cricket, want to get that baggy green.
Good.
But,
of course we do. That's excellent.
Yeah, no, it is great to hear.
Yeah, you keep training them up the right way, Graham. We'll be in good hands from here.
We'll try. Cheers.
Fantastic. Ex-Australian captain Graham Yallop, our guest, just reflecting on the sad passing of Bob Simpson.
Test cap number 275, Bobby Simpson, 44.
At 5:45, let's all thanks to Parafield Airport Liquor. When you're after that special drop, trust your pals to have a Parafield Airport Liquor, the home of hardest to find wines, beers and spirits. Life is better with your pals. We want to get you to the footy.
'Cause I'm Timmy G.
And these are the best tickets in the Adelaide Oval. So if you want to get along to see Port Adelaide farewell Travis Boak, Ken Hinckley, it's the very last game for the season against the Gold Coast Suns. FIVEAA locker room tickets is what we're giving away. A double pass. Call in now, 8223 0000 to play.
G'day there. A couple of breakdowns to look out for. One at Globe Derby Park. It's on the north-south motorway near Globe Derby Drive. Martin, another crash there. Lower Port Rice Road near Payneham Road, while at Bedford Park, a breakdown on South Road near A-Lifts Road. Busy South Road, Edward Sound with a camera, Hart Street at Glanville. South Australia is building for today and tomorrow. Find out what it means for you. Visit saisbuilding.sa.gov.au. A message from the Government of South Australia. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
For over 50 years, Gliderol has been manufacturing and installing garage doors for South Australian homes. Spring is almost here, so why not improve the street appeal and value of your most prized possession? Order a new Gliderol door with operator before the end of September and you'll receive 2 extra handsets. Plus, we'll remove your existing door for free. Call Gliderol for a free measure and quote on 1300 799 144 or go to gliderol.com.au. Retail customers only, T's and C's apply.
A new battery rebate is here, and it's a game changer. The Cheaper Home Batteries program with NRG Solar makes smart storage more affordable than ever. Eligible homes and small businesses can save thousands, and households could slash power bills by up to 90% with a solar and battery combo. NRG Solar will guide you through and lock in the rebate before the masses catch on. Head to nrgsolar.com.au or call 1300 858 160. Don't wait. The smart move is to act now.
Life's a journey. As you grow older, every step should bring you more of what you want. And at ECH, they understand that. As one of SA's largest retirement living and home care providers, ECH offers more in every sense. More help at home, more support with your health, or the perfect new home to downsize to. ECH won't tell you where you should be, but they'll always support you to get more out of life. Visit ech.asn.au or call ECH today.
Hey, it's Lauren here from Adelaide. Wouldn't you love a reward just for shopping at your local Star Discount chemist? Become a Superstar Rewards member to earn points, receive birthday vouchers and more. Star Discount Chemist. How can we help? Earn and redeem points on eligible purchases. Visit website for full terms and conditions.
Go Vita, your local health food shops. With 40 years health and wellness experience and over 300 natural health practitioners specialising in you.
Hi, I'm Wayne from Go Vita Mount Barker. Feeling bloated and sluggish? My Brain Co Gut Repair is your all-in-one gut solution. The award-winning powders supports digestion and promotes a healthy microbiome naturally. 3 10-gram was $69.95, now $55.95.
Go Vita, Colonnades, Fairview Green, Marion, Mount Barker, Semaphore and Tanunda.
Your daily cup of OTR just got a whole lot richer. Buy NEC coffee for a chance to win $1,000 daily when you scan the OTR app. In September 2, T's and C's apply. SAT 25/835. OTR. Serving up seriously good coffee.
Kids don't want to wait. The sooner, the better. Every moment is a chance to learn and grow. And they're right, it is. The first few years of a child's development play a hugely important part in their future, in learning and in life. That's why the state government is rolling out 3-year-old preschool from 2026. Because the sooner they start, the further they can go. Learn more at flyingstart.sa.gov.au. A message from the Government of South Australia.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
10 minutes to 6. Ollie Wine's hearing at the tribunal is just beginning, so we'll keep you on top of him fighting his 3-match suspension for that bump on Cooper Lord. But we also want to bring some good news to some Port fans. We want to get to the FIVEAA locker room.
Timmy
We certainly do. We're going to go to Alberton. Steve, here's Timmy.
All right, Steve. So what we're going to do here, it's obviously Ken Hinckley's last game as coach, and we're going to find an iconic moment from when Port Adelaide won under Ken. We're going to play you a bit of audio, Steve, and we want you to have a guess at what this moment is.
They all crashed down.
What happened next, Steve?
Oh, gee. Did bloody Chad Wingard kick a goal or something?
Sorry, Steve, no. Let's go to Ben at Hawthorn. Ben, just have a listen to this.
They all crashed down.
What happens next, Ben?
Oh, I hate these ones. Does DBJ kick a goal? Is it that one?
Stevie who?
Stevie who, yeah.
DBJ.
DBJ.
Darcy Burn-Jones.
No,
these are hard.
No, it wasn't him, Ben. Let's
I have
go
no
to
idea.
Steve at Golden Grove. Have a listen.
They all crashed down.
Steve, what happens next?
Motlop kicking the goal?
Wow.
Congratulations, Steve.
Wow.
Good get, mate. They all crashed down. Sammy Gray, little give in a showdown to Motlop, Dodgers, Weaves, bang.
Great
gets a goal.
goal.
Well done. Showdown 44. Congratulations, Steve. You're on your way.
Excellent stuff, mate. Well done. And
Thanks, guys.
you'll be in the FIVEAA locker room. You'll be able to
Love
see
it.
in the room and see Boki preparing for his last game as they go out, and along with Ken Hinckley and Chad Corns in their last game as coaches.
And it's one of those moments you'll be able to say, I watched his last
I was
game.
there. I could see him.
Boki's
I was in the FIVEAA locker room.
He's a club
Steve can
great.
say that.
He is a club great. Hey, Ro, I heard a stat that made me think of you. Guess who's ranked 17th for D50, F50 transition? ... Adelaide. Well, we're number 2 for attack, number 2 for defence.
I think Dirk's just having a go at the D50, F50 because you say that a lot.
True.
I think Dirk's a Crows man. He's a Crows man.
Dirk, you're a Dirk Hartog.
Yeah.
Hello, Pete.
Hey, boys. Hope you're well.
Yeah, Pete.
Thank you, Pete. Hope you are too.
Hey, guys, this is just a hypothetical. I want to start by saying that I'm a Crows man, but whilst I don't condone what Isaac or any of the previous players have done using a homophobic slur, I just wanted to put a hypothetical to you. So the guys that have been rubbed out, Graham, Andrew, Collard, Finlayson and potentially Ranken, what if they were all to put their heads together and look at going to the AFL, taking legal action against the AFL and saying, well, you've rubbed us out for using a homophobic slur, you've impacted our income and livelihood, yet you're actively promoting an entertainer who has spent years, decades, right, promoting misogyny and homophobia.
Yep.
So I just wonder whether the AFL would take any note if there was a King's Council out there who would be willing to take up the cause for these players, and as to whether that would cause them to perhaps have another look at what they're actually doing.
Well, he's culturally
relevant.
Relevant. That's the CEO's words. He's going to get paid $2 million to get up there and sing. Go and Google him. Look at any YouTube. Look at his lyrics. How the hell he will be at grand final day and Isaac won't be if the Crows win is more than hypocrisy. It's a joke and it's a disgrace. And I love that. If there's any King's Councils out there that want to get on board, we can save Isaac. Or is it too late? I think it's too late.
No,
love your creativity, Pete.
Yeah, in all seriousness, though, prior to this happening, we were challenging Andrew on that.
We had him on air and we said, can you see the hypocrisy in this?
In the week that AFLW was launched.
Yep, unreal. Hello, Morris.
Yeah, g'day, boys. How are you?
Hey,
Good, Morris.
I've got a couple of questions, but firstly, I wouldn't worry about Steve. I was starting to sound like a 1960s evangelist telling us that rock and roll is evil. God. Question, negotiation.
Yeah.
Rowey,
yes.
Would you take this? Isaac gets 2 and the club starts off next year with -6 premiership points.
100%.
Would you take it? What if he took that and he went out injured in the first 5 minutes?
I'd want to renege. But that's not. That would never happen. That's a real hypothetical, isn't it?
Oh, they're pretty good negotiators, Adelaide. You know, remember, they behaved very well too. Remember, we got knocked out of the final series on a goal that we got, and they apologised and so on. And I think they've got an excellent relationship. And I think that if anyone can do negotiating, it's Adelaide.
That's tongue-in-cheek, isn't it? That is tongue-in-cheek, isn't it?
It is. We've got the brownie points.
How did we go with the Kurt Tippett negotiation?
Yeah, not real good.
Not real good. We don't have a good history. I'd like to know who our lawyer is. What's his name again, Timmy?
Lionel Hutz.
I've got to Google him. Is he a King's Counsel?
No, Lionel isn't. But
he's a cartoon character.
Oh, is he?
He's a cartoon character.
He's a cartoon character?
Yes.
Oh, so you've been taking the P155 out of me?
I've showed you Lionel.
Yeah, fair cool.
He's very
funny. Hey, Morris, like your creativity, let's go to Darwin. God, would you
Tony.
love to be in Darwin now? Tony?
What is it, about 31?
31, I would say exactly, and 26 at night. Magnificent. Guys, I had a bit of a selection thought prior to the Ranken curveball. Half forward, defensive half forward. Now, this week, Laird would come back in. I'd hate to see Smithers go, given his form is pretty reasonable. I'd throw him onto the half forward line as a defensive half forward. If he gets half a dozen kicks, he's going to kick a goal or two. So I reckon he knows the defence and he can attack. So I'd love to see him as that defensive half forward because it's still a big hole when we lose a player.
Yeah, look, I think Bond will keep his spot. I think Michael Annie will either come up forward because he's class or the midfield. I'd do him midfield. I think B. Smith has to be the sub. Rochelle then will come into the forward line. Taylor didn't have his best game, but I do like him. He's got a good head. I think he'll go out. I think Murphy will go out. And that's pretty much it if Isaac's out. So they're going to be full strength bar if you like Isaac. And as long as they have no more injuries, and there's a lot of people here saying, Rowey, could you shut up, stop trying to get Isaac off? I'm not trying to get him off. I haven't for 1 second wanted to get him off or even said I want to get him off. I'm just, bit of the loss as to where it's all heading.
Yeah, we'll find out tomorrow. That'll be when the decision lands. I wonder when they'll do it. This is a classic AFL, build the drama, drop it at a time that they want it dropped and the like. So I'd like to see where their media team are thinking it best placed.
It's interesting it's being
prior
negotiated.
To breakfast or is it going to be,
You can read them like a book. You can read this mob like the book. The Crows will be saying we want 3. And there's been a cider for that, and his name was Finlayson, just around the corner on the other side of Port Road. And the AFL will be saying...
The first one this year,
that was last year, actually.
It was last year. Was that long ago?
Yeah, it was.
Wow.
And then they said, well, the last one was Graham. That's the latest one, so that's 4. But we think this is worth 5. Now, 5 means he'll miss the grand final. Now, you've got to plan that this team's going to get a long way through. Let's hope they do. So I reckon that's what it is. It's going to sit somewhere between 3 and 5. If I was a betting man here today, I think he'll get 4. If I'm a betting man, he'll get 4.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, have your say. 8223 Ned McHenry is going to give us his thoughts after the 6 o'clock news.
The FIVEAA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
You've got your mates lined up. You've got the TV primed. Now all you need is a Barbie feast that really ups the stakes. Thomas Farms has absolute ripper footy finals boxes, all packed with top quality South Aussie beef, lamb, pork and chicken. Enough to feed a crowd and make you look like a legend. Order yours online at thomasfarms.com.au or head into Thomas Farms Butchers at Castle Plaza, Cavan, Colonnades, Norwood or West Lakes. Thomas Farms. Farm to fork flavour. Made easy for finals footy.
We open our doors to people we trust and care about. And for over 90 years, South Australians have been opening their doors to Rest Haven. In turn, we've been opening doors to an easier, better life at home. From personal care to help with the shopping and social outings, you'll welcome the care that Rest Haven brings.
The SUV you haven't met yet.
A Motor JQ has arrived, and Morford Vale is the only place you'll find them.
Premium looks, smart tech, designed for beach getaways, back road breaks and school runs with flair. Plus an 8-year warranty and Australia's first future price promise. You won't just love the ride, you'll love the peace of mind.
Only available at a Motor JQ Morford Vale.
Built for this wild life. Wildly cool. Main South Road. T's and C's apply.
The latest local, national and international news for South Australia. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Clear tonight and sunny tomorrow, a high of 19. With the 6 o'clock news, I'm Kendall Brettig.
Sportal, cutting-edge sports hardware and software for elite and community clubs.
A young woman has died and another's in hospital after a car plunged into the water at Mobilong near Murray Bridge this afternoon. The car ran off Pump Road just after 1 into a channel. The 21-year-old passenger died at the scene and a 21-year-old driver suffered minor injuries. It's the 53rd life lost on our roads this year. Premier Peter Malinauskas has thanked the brave South Australians who came forward to tell their stories to the Royal Commission into domestic, family and sexual violence. The final report has made 136 recommendations, 7 of which have been implemented straight away. The rest will be acted on by the end of the year. 1 in 4 women and 1 in 8 men have experienced domestic violence at some point in their lives. The Premier says we all need to be alert.
I think all of us in the community need to just lift our eyes a little bit. Domestic violence often happens behind closed doors in a way that is silent and unseen, but that doesn't change the fact that it easily could be a family member who's a victim, it could be a neighbour who's a perpetrator, and we should be alive to that and alive to the extraordinary consequences.
Police are desperately trying to track down the mother of a newborn baby found dead in a stormwater drain in Perth's north. 2 workmen made the discovery yesterday afternoon. Detectives believe the boy's body had been placed there in recent days. Business groups and economists say the first day of Labor's economic roundtable has been productive. The focus has been ensuring the Australian economy remains resilient with fewer investment hurdles. It appears the federal government's open to slashing more red tape. Business Council Chief Brian Black says it needs to happen to help streamline approval processes.
And just by way of example, we're aware of 300 different tariffs that raise about $15 million in revenue but cost our economy about $150 million. So for us, that represents a really good place to start.
Ukraine's ambassador to Australia says his people don't trust the Russian president, but is welcoming steps towards a possible peace. The Ukrainian and US leaders have met at the White House to discuss the ongoing war. President Donald Trump has offered security guarantees for Kyiv, which will be worked out in the next 10 days. Ambassador Vasyl Miroshnichenko says it's good progress, but Russia will ultimately be responsible for ending the war.
Putin is a KGB officer. We don't trust him. We don't trust the Russians. 70% of people in Russia support Putin, and they will demand from Putin to finish the job. And that's a whole conundrum we are facing here, because Russian people expect Putin to crush Ukraine entirely.
And government documents show a far-right Israeli politician had his visa cancelled because of fears he'd incite division. Simcha Rotman was planning a speaking tour in Australia. The Netanyahu government's responded swiftly to the visa cancellation, expelling 3 Australian diplomats from the West Bank. But Deputy Prime Minister Richard Marles says the government's actions were justified.
We are very protective of social cohesion in this country, and we have always been mindful of that in terms of the visas that have been granted, where people seek to come to this country to provide messages which are divisive in their nature.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Kick goals with Floor World. With 4 locations around Adelaide, it's never been easier to score the best deal.
And call on Isaac Ranken's suspension for a homophobic slur won't be made till Wednesday. The Crows are desperately trying to reduce his ban so he could still potentially play in the grand final. Adelaide believes there are extenuating circumstances for Ranken, even though he didn't self-report. Port Adelaide coach Ken Hinckley says he's disappointed not to have won a premiership as he prepares to coach his last game for the club on Friday night.
It stings a lot. I mean, that's what you set out to do. I said basically before last week's game that you look at your results as a coach and you ultimately your result is to get to a grand final and win a grand final. As harsh as that is, we didn't get there. So, the winning record's great and everything else, but, I wanted to win and the club wanted to win and we all didn't quite get there.
Well, Josh Sin has been ruled out of the game against Gold Coast and Alir will be tested. Sin was subbed out of Saturday's match with a corky and has been unable to train, while Alir sprained his ankle and will be assessed later in the week. Oscar Piastri is getting a stand named after him at the Australian Grand Prix in Melbourne, joining Sir Jack Brabham and Alan Jones in receiving the honour. The Piastri grandstand will seat fans directly opposite the McLaren garage on the main straight.
Very, very cool, very special to have my own grandstand. It'll be on the pit straight, and you should be able to see me in the garage from the grandstand, so that'll be really cool.
Australia has a big run chase ahead in the opening men's one-dayer in Cairns. South Africa finished their 50 overs at 8 for 296. And the WNBL is expanding to 9 teams, with a team from Tasmania to join the comp in 2026-27. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Sharman Shelving have moved their showroom next door into the Big White Building, still at 412 North East Road.
Globe Derby Park, a breakdown on the North-South motorway near Globe Derby Drive. Marden, the crash there. Lower Port Rice Road near Paynham Road. Bedford Park, a breakdown on South Road near Ailifs Road. And we're slow for works at Salisbury Downs, Kings Road near Miriam Road. Camera at Days Road, Croydon Park tonight. For quality produce from someone you can trust, shop at fruit and veg stores displaying the red Pick a Local, Pick SA sign. Local, family-owned and fresh South Australian grown. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Clear tonight and sunny and 19 tomorrow. Thursday becoming cloudy, 20. Friday partly cloudy, 19. And cloudy for Saturday down to 16. At the moment, 13. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
Thank you, I'm Brenton Braglis. Tonight, a Royal Commission report has laid bare SA's domestic violence crisis. Veteran Crow Taylor Walker says Isaac Ranken will accept any sanction he's handed over an alleged homophobic slur. And weight loss drug Ozempic has been approved to treat kidney disease. Don't worry, you haven't missed the news. Start over on 9 now as soon as you're home.
Here at 5AA, we're all about supporting local. The Excelsior Hotel's $22 schnitzel and pint offer in the front bar every day. The Excelsior Hotel, Coghlan Street, Brompton. Feels like coming home, but better.
Don't have Binge? Now you can save 35% on a Binge Basic annual subscription. That's a whole year of Binge for just $48. Sign up now at binge.com.au/save. Offer ends August 31.
Rollerco would never boast about how good they are at fixing sliding doors and windows. So I'll do it for them. For nearly 40 years, Rollerco have been making and fixing all sorts of sliding doors and windows. They seriously know everything there is to know. And if by some outrageous chance they don't have the parts you need, they'll do their very best to find a solution. Rollerco.com.au. They'll get you rolling. Rollerco.com.au.
In Adelaide and across South Australia, this is 5AA, always Adelaide. The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
Great to have you with us tonight. It's 8 minutes after 6. Very soon, Ned McHenry is going to be in here for the 5AA Fishing Show, but he always likes to join us nice and early here in the studio ahead of the show. And we are live on the Wayville Hyundai live stream, so you can watch us all the way up to then. Visit Wayville Hyundai to take a test drive today to find your perfect Hyundai car. They are at Goodwood Road, Wayville.
G'day, Neddy. You're out there at the vending machine. You fished all afternoon and all morning. How are you, son?
I haven't eaten. I just had a cookie.
I know. Yeah, fair call.
Yeah.
Man survives on cookie.
Oh, yeah. Tell us about the Isaac Ranken you played with.
Oh, yeah. It's been hard to actually hard to view this as a friend of Isaac's. You know, everyone's going to have comments, and no one cares what I say. But I was really surprised, and in my time with Isaac, he never said or did anything that was untoward, or you know, he's a beautiful guy, and he's clearly made a mistake, and he's going to miss some footy, but I couldn't speak more highly of Isaac and his character with the time I spent with him. And I say that genuinely. I say that really genuinely. So, yeah.
So you were surprised?
I was really surprised.
Well, everyone's surprised.
Put it this way. He's not a guy where that news comes out or one of those blokes, you go, it's not like that at all.
No.
So, yeah.
How will the club be internally about this? I mean, he's such an important player in cog to that team. Jeez, it nearly came out.
Have you got a cookie jammed in there as well, do you?
Well, no, but, gee, another word nearly came out.
Yeah.
But he is so important to him. We heard Campo with his stats. He's the number one score involvement player in that team.
He is, isn't he?
He averages 9 a game.
Yeah, I think back to that West Coast game where they just couldn't get going in the first half, could they?
Yeah.
I think he had 3 disposals to half-time. They injected him up around the ball, and he was that firecracker, Timmy, who...
He is.
And in a final, that's what it's going to be like, isn't it? There's going to be high contest. It's going to be hard to transition the ball. You need someone with that.
As coaches, they always look for certain levers. And,
he's a match winner.
He's a lever. And this one is almost break glass, in an emergency, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he'll always kick that goal when the team needs it. Is this too soon? Because we don't know what the penalty is. It might be 4, it might be 5. Probably breaks before the Channel 7 news in Melbourne tomorrow, but there will be a penalty, sadly. And if the Crows were to make it through to the grand final, what we do know about Isaac, and we hope he's okay, he actually is a pretty talented rapper himself, isn't he? Like, he can play guitar, he writes music, he can sing. Wouldn't it be fantastic if the AFL said, well, look, you're going to miss the grand final. We'll give you 4 or 5 because you shouldn't have said that. But it'd be great if you were to be able to get up on stage with Snoop Dogg and you can both, rappity dap dap dap, whatever they do. Snoop Dogg.
You're having a little play on Snoop, obviously. Saying and doing some.
He's a misogynistic pig of a thing. Apparently.
Yeah. What does that have to do with this incident, though, Stephen?
Well, Isaac won't be there, but how ironic is it that Snoop Dogg can? And they're paying him $2 million to do it. Apparently, he changes his words because he's culturally what, Sam?
Relevant.
He's culturally relevant.
Well, Isaac's made a mistake. It's going to be interesting to see. I think the conversation is without actually, taking any seriousness out of the actual issue itself and the comment that was made. Is there a conversation to be had around having different weights to different games?
100%.
Is it? Is that fair?
So.
Because I've seen some
no history of it.
There's none. No. Last year there was a side. His name was Houston.
Yeah, and he missed 4.
Hit Isaac Ranken last game of the year and missed 4.
Yeah.
How ironic's that?
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm saying, so a final could be weighted at 1.5 games or something like that.
I would do that. And the grand final's 5.
Yeah. Yeah. Is that fair or is that...
life, isn't it?
It is.
Well, you never get it back.
No, you never get it back.
So, but they don't weight it.
Yeah.
And there could be some argument to
that.
And
we are talking about the VFL, the AFL. Hello, Jack at Nan.
G'day, fellas. Netty boy. How we going?
Hello, Jack.
We're going to get rid of that song, are you, Rowey, or what?
Which one?
Can you feel it?
Well, it's still here. Where is it, Sam?
It still exists. Not
there you go.
Doesn't quite have the same gusto, though, does it, Jack?
No.
I just remember when Riley went down, you might have had a little bit of a coronary there, young Rowey, and I think Netty brought you back to life. So I think there's still hope, fellas.
What a French for, Jack.
Yeah.
You're a legend, Rowey.
God.
All the best for the finals, everyone.
Good on you, Jack.
I like
Good
Jack.
man. Good man. Hey, that's sensibility right there.
Yeah, we could get him on the show every
North Adelaide. G'day, Peter.
Pete.
G'day, boys. How are you?
All right.
Devastated. I don't understand why they all don't have something in their kit bag. I'm sure someone said it before, but you call him a Fruit Loop, whatever. You've got that in your kit bag. Someone gets under your skin, you just bring out Fruit Loop.
Yeah.
But my point is, we're talking about what this might be and what it might not be, and we all love the AFL like anything on this planet, don't we?
Yep.
But my point is around the argument around the penalty. Now, Nettie was down my alley in terms of what I was thinking. That of course, it doesn't add up. A normal game versus a finals game. Yes, you could weight it, and yes, you should. Not that would get to the AFL house. But let's just say last week or this week, someone jumps out and forgets to use Fruit Loop and actually drops something else. And they happen to be in the bottom 10 sides. And they get 5 games or 4 games or whatever the same penalty as what Ranken gets. When are they going to serve them? They're going to serve them in the minor round next year. So the penalty for that person doing exactly the same thing in exactly the same way in the same football league will get a different penalty, because we all agree that finals are a different scenario, the most important games, therefore more weighting, etc. So someone could say the same thing and ultimately miss out on some minor round games next year, not in finals.
If you were to start again with the AFL and you were to have jurisdiction around all these things, like the AFLPA has been saying, the AFL, we need a framework. The framework wouldn't be that you say something like that, Tech 6 weeks, and now Isaac maybe 4 or 5. You wouldn't make it that strong on the first offence because you made a rod for your own back. If you haven't heard it, Nettie, here's the coach of the Gold Coast Suns, and I think he absolutely nailed it here. Damien Harwick said this today.
It's a significant penalty, I feel. Like we can have a player that belts a guy in the jaw and we'll get, maybe 5 weeks sort of thing. And I don't condone the behaviour. It's a term that should never be used on the football field, we understand. But I think we painted ourselves in a corner with regard to the penalty and the length of penalty to start.
We made a rod for our own back.
Yeah. I think it's so sensitive, isn't it, that it almost seems in the general public now that if you have commentary or you have discussions around lengths of bans like this, you're seen to be, endorsing the comment or
That's
endorsing
exactly
it all.
right.
But hang on, a penalty is in place for a certain reason, right?
Yep.
So, if a grand final is one game, say it happens on the prelim and it's one game, that is of significance of 5 to 6 minor games.
Of course it is.
And a penalty's there in place for that. So, yeah.
Now, you're fresh out of the game. You're educated to the minute with all these sort of things. So there's no real sympathy from the other players to a player that transgresses with this, is there?
What do you mean?
Well,
so you get
educated.
education.
Yeah, there's heaps
You
of
went through it out there. What is it about? You get what do you get educated about? You
gender. It'll be racial. It'll be homosexuality slurs, and it'll be all that, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, in the AFL, you get so much education.
And then you get,
that's what I'm saying.
Then you get gambling.
So there's no excuses.
Then you get illicit drugs.
You are mothered in a way in the AFL. When you leave the AFL system, you go, I didn't realise when you rock up at the airport that your lunch wasn't just waiting for you in a cardboard box and your boarding pass wasn't given to you and you drop your bags off and they put it on the run. You know what I mean? Like
you just sit on the plane.
You are given every opportunity. Yeah.
Whereas dinosaurs like me that have been brought up a certain way in society, you can understand because I haven't been educated. I've got to get with the program.
Yeah.
This woke society and getting counsel and all that, they've pushed us into this. You've got to accept all these things, and that's wrong, and that's wrong, and that's wrong. You can't have an opinion.
But this isn't wokeism. I mean, the comment itself that's not wokeism, and this is probably pretty hard.
This is a standard.
So, an insight from John Rao from the Herald Sun just now, which is dropping online, and you can read this article if you like, into the argument the Adelaide Football Club are putting forward to the AFL for this investigation today.
Because it's being negotiated.
So Adelaide has launched a multifaceted defence to keep Ranken's season alive, citing an escalating war of words with Dan Houston that referenced him knocking the Crows star out last year. They said that Ranken felt triggered by a comment on Saturday night after Houston received a 5-week ban last year for the high bump. It ended his career with Port Adelaide, included, I'm just trying to get through this, Houston made comments referring to that incident. It's not known the exchange of words, but Houston made reference to this. And then it goes on to say Adelaide does not condone Ranken's comment and accepts that he's to blame for using the derogatory word on Saturday night. But it's part of the club's submission that the verbal sparring was referenced as one of the reasons why he uttered the word, and then goes on to say that Adelaide's also mounted the case that finals should be given greater weight than missing home and away games, and it's also not escaped the Crows that the league's spending millions of dollars on Snoop Dogg with a history of homophobic lyrics while penalising AFL players for the same words. So that's all insightful. Just reading that as we go.
No,
they're having a throw at the stumps.
All they did was take our last hour of the show and send it over to the AFL.
Yeah. But they're having a throw at the stumps.
All of that's been said.
And that's why there's extenuating circumstances. That's what they are. And the AFL, in fairness, has to consider them.
Yep. Just reading here, AFL are pushing for 4 to 5 weeks. The Crows think they can, through his contrition, and if he's self-reported, they can get less. So that's all coming out right now on the John Raff article.
The Crows want 3.
Well, Adelaide called the AFL. Yes.
They called the AFL.
No, Adelaide called the AFL.
Yes.
So that's self-reported.
Collingwood rang the Crows and then the Crows self-reported. So that is a self-report, albeit 24 hours after the event. So the Crows want 3, and the AFL want 5. What did I say about an hour ago?
Somewhere in between.
It'll land at 4. Hello, Nick.
How are you, gentlemen?
Could save them a lot of money and time, Nick.
Just a quick couple of points. The first one, I hate trial by media.
Yeah, I know.
In all areas, we're big on it here in SA. Secondly, what he said was wrong. I think everyone agrees with that.
Yep.
But it was said on field, not in a public place, and it wouldn't have been public unless it was put out there. And third, I think public standards have changed dramatically over time. Calling someone that word is not accepted now, but it might have flown 20 years ago. But what's going to happen is I think it's going to keep going, and you might find in 10 years someone calls someone a fairy or soft, bang, they're out. Where does it stop? Call someone stupid, hang on, well, I've got a learning difficulty. Now you're gone. So where does it end? It's wrong what he said, but maybe there needs to be a list put out and make it clear what words can be said, what can't be said, and where's it going to go?
Yeah, well, I think standards are just getting lifted and lifted and lifted and lifted, aren't they?
Yeah.
And it's probably a good thing. And I say that
just
probably people should. Well.
But no one, hang on. No one is disputing, this is what everyone's saying, no one's disputing the black and white of the actual comment itself.
No.
They're just talking about the AFL's response and what the penalty is.
That's exactly right.
It's
That's what
less
our
about
whole
the
show's
comment.
been about.
Exactly.
We're not condoning the comment.
No.
He needs a penalty.
Of course.
We need some framework around it, and the AFL needs to lift their game in that area.
But
and they haven't.
But the general public are there's such a vocal group of people that are so serious about this, and rightly.
And they are.
And rightly. Yep. However, a penalty is put in place with consideration of how significant it is. So the AFL is saying this is worth 4 weeks or 5 weeks. It's not worth 7, right? So it could be worth 3. Do you know what I mean? There is a certain point, a line where it sits.
There is.
It's not death.
Yeah. We'll take a quick break. It's 21 after 6. We'll get back to your calls after this. Ned McHenry's with us.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
Timmy, this is massive. We've got your chance to warm up for the winter with a $10,000 wood, gas or electric log fire package.
I guess that's what you'd call a hot prize.
Yes.
Now, to win, we'll be putting the call out and asking you, who's the heat on?
Maybe the Test top 3 are still having a stinker, or your favourite player's in risk of a spell, he's in the 2s.
To get involved, keep it on the Sports Show from 4 p.m. Mondays for your shot at the prize.
It's all thanks to the Home of Fire, 126 McGill Road, Norwood, up to 50% off sale for all your flaming needs.
The BTR Excavations Balaclava Cup. SA's biggest country race day is back and it's going to be huge. Secure your marquee ticket. A range of amazing hospitality options available from just $55. Food, drinks and all the trackside action. Buses available from Adelaide, the Barossa and Clare. Pick your outfit. Get ready for a day of racing, fashion and fun. The Balaclava Cup, Wednesday, September 10. Book now. Search Balaclava Racing Club on Facebook or online.
We know you love to bake, cook and entertain, but this Saturday, it's our turn to host and you don't want to miss it. The brand new Kitchen Warehouse store in Payneham is throwing a housewarming party. One huge day of deals, a major free giveaway, hourly door prizes to be won and delicious free food and coffee. Don't miss exclusive one-day offers at the Kitchen Warehouse Payneham Housewarming Party, 382 Payneham Road, Saturday, August 23 from 9 to 1.
Now, when it comes to marine motors, you just cannot beat a Yamaha. It's the only motor I've ever had on all my boats. I have a Yamaha outboard. I've got a 150 saltwater 2-stroke. Love it. If I've got a 4-4-stroke, I would, and I might be able to after I do this read. It's the best marine motor in the world, bar none. Close the book. Love it. And right now, you can fire up with massive savings. How's this? Whether you're repowering your current boat or buying a new one, you could save up to $1,350 or $1,350 or $1,350 on Yamaha's mighty 30 to 90 horsepower range. That's $15 for every horsepower. Do your math, Nettie. How good's that? So get your hands on this red-hot deal today. Visit the experts at Yamaha Pitmans, South Coast Marine, Christie's Beach Marine or Coast Road Motors and save bucks, big bucks. Offer end 31st of October this year. Visit the Yamaha website for full T's and C's. You can't miss it.
Here's another top tyre tip from Tyre Power. Rotating the tyres on your car is just as important as a wheel alignment. It helps your tyres to wear evenly, so they'll last longer. Visit tyrepower.com.au or call 1321 91 for your local independent owner.
It's showtime at Wayville Hyundai, and we want to show you how good servicing your car can be. Want free parking for the Royal Show? Get your car serviced at Wayville Hyundai. Roll up, because there's even more with a $25 food and drink coupon and a free car wash and vacuum. Plus, you can service your car now and pay later with Afterpay. Showtime bookings are now open. Change the way you Hyundai at Wayville Hyundai, opposite the showground.
Bathroom Renovators Warehouse. Looking for a stunning new bathroom? Want the high-end look without spending a fortune? BRW can design and renovate your bathroom from start to finish at a budget that suits you. Visit our showroom today and see our beautiful new bathrooms on display. BRW, beautiful bathrooms at warehouse prices. 16 Research Road, Paraka.
We are BRW, Bathroom Renovators Warehouse.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
25 after 6 in just a few minutes. We'll get into the 5AA Fishing Show with Ned McHenry, who's with us.
Now, you got some whiting at Port Hughes today.
Did I ever? I was
on
there.
whose mark?
Oh, well, yes, I was given a bit.
Now, Neddie's got a question. Sorry, Timmy's got a question for Neddie.
Well, I heard on breakfast radio this morning with Pimbo and Tommy Wren, actually. But Pimbo interviewed a guy, he was a commercial fisherman from the York, and he did say, look, I want to give you one positive. He said the seagrass is really healthy, and I think that's a good sign because they're worried about the summer coming, heating up again. That might, make the algae bloom, go even stronger. Yeah. And he said the seagrass is a really good indicator that things are okay.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, Timmy, and that's like I've been fishing flat out. There are some areas that are really affected, and that's what we've been saying on the show, Sammy, isn't it, as well? Yeah. But there's other areas that are going beautifully.
Yeah.
And I fished Victor Harbour last week after the show. I had one of the best days out there I've had in the last couple of years.
Great.
Like, it was awesome. Huge
good news.
Big gummies and stuff
Today,
like that.
I believe you were successful.
Today, Port Hughes bagged out in 20 minutes, 25 minutes on whiting, and everyone's doing the same. Oh, well, what are you
Sorry
doing?
about that.
Oh, yeah, it was good. It was good. You gave me a general area, then I worked it out.
Oh, so you didn't fish up my mark?
No, I was sitting absolutely dead on top of it and just absolutely smashed them.
Okay, and you got a guest of mine on, a friend of mine.
Yes.
Ash, after 6:30.
Yes, Ash is going to join us.
Ryan?
Yes, Ashley Ryan's going to join us. He's got a little bit on the algae bloom, particularly at the top of this gulf, which is of importance for Adelaide residents. So if you are listening and keen to hear about the algae bloom, there'll be some good news on that one.
Well done, Nettie.
Yeah.
We'll get to all that straight after this break.
Government has agreed to broaden the eligibility for some of the business